shit, what you want me to prove?
Spacey got the sauce on. Spacey got the sauce on.
Video with your boy Freezy. Join in tonight. No captivity. Only the boss motherfucking bitches fuck with motherfucking Freezy. No captivity. Get into it.
Spacey got the sauce on. Spacey got the sauce on.
Video with your boy Freezy. Join in tonight. No captivity. Only the boss motherfucking bitches fuck with motherfucking Freezy. No captivity. Get into it.
We about to get started, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to the No Cap crew, the entire No Cap crew for being here early. I know y'all hit that like button already,
Sauce boy shit, what you want me to prove?
or the dislike button, whichever you prefer.
Spacey got
Let's
the
get it.
sauce on. Spacey got the sauce on.
No captivity. Freezy, freezy.
What up? You are officially locked in to No Captivity with Freezy, where we tackle issues that sometimes have us trapped in this thing that we call life. But if you know me, you know my motto. To free yourself, you must heal yourself. And if you rock with your boy, please hit the like and subscribe button hard right now. And also comment and share this video. That is if you rock with your boy Freezy.
No captivity.
And another one. It's about approximately 10:13, 10:15, 10:14 Eastern time. I think it's a great time to talk about marriage, divorce, if you want to get married, if you're contemplating marriage, if you're contemplating divorce, if you're already divorced, do you regret getting divorced? Do you regret getting married? We're going to talk about it, man, because the goal of this conversation is to save as many households as possible, to prevent as many broken households as possible. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to light my damn incense.
No captivity.
We got to light the incense. I love this cinnamon incense, y'all. I really do. I want y'all to really get involved in the comment section this evening. I'm going to be playing a catalog of videos, right? I'm going to be commenting on them and I'm going to be discussing the videos. But I got so many videos on divorce, people that we know got divorced, celebrities that got divorced, marriage, inspirational videos on marriage, informational videos on divorce, right? We're going to talk about it. So often lately in this space that most of us frequent, right? There's a lot of back and forth, a lot of polarizing views about relationships and the dynamics of marriage and relationships in general, the role of women, the role of men. I've been witnessing these conversations probably for about 3 years now. But I got a slew of videos that we're going to have a conversation about. A no-cap conversation. I just came up with that today, y'all. We're going to have a no-cap conversation. You feel what I'm saying?
No captivity.
Before we do that, though, if you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. It helps the algorithm. And also, for some reason, if you just don't like something already, hit the dislike button. And I'm going to be telling y'all to do that throughout the show. And of course, I know my mods will too. Shout out to the whole No Cap crew in the building, man. Also, to support this platform and stories of this magnitude, especially tonight, right? Send a super cap, aka super chat, or a cash cap, aka cash app. And you can send the cash cap to $Freezy1976. That's $Freezy1976, and I will be checking it periodically and giving y'all major shout outs. Guaranteed.
No captivity.
How's everybody doing, man? Let me give everybody a shout out, man, like I usually do. Shout out to Just the Way. He always watching from work. Lady Nevo, how you doing? I got your message on Instagram earlier. I'm gonna get to it. I've been moving, Lady Nevo. Forgive me, sis. Shout out to my brother Emperor Kojak 313 in the building. Shout out to Miss Piggy, my sister in the building. Shout out to Jerome and Watch him out in the building. Shout out to Hassan in the building. T Will, what's going on, man? Let me make sure I got Genesis 1 and T Will. That's right. They're the sponsors of tonight's show. And T Will, you're going to be the sole sponsor in a little while if nobody else gives $20 or more, right? Or well, $21 or more. You're the sponsor at $21. So if anybody pays $21 or more, they'll be the co-sponsor or either the sponsor of the show. Shout out to Genesis 1 and T Will for being the sponsors of the show already.
No captivity.
Shout out to Love W in the building. Appreciate you being here.
No captivity.
Shout out to Anti-American and aka Issa in the building.
No captivity.
Nightish in the building, my brother.
No captivity.
Y'all, I was at Nightish show earlier. I was watching Nightish show for hours today. I think Nightish did like a 12-hour stream. I ain't gonna lie, one time I fell asleep and I heard their conversation in my sleep. And I woke up to it. By that time, Logic had joined the panel. When I tell y'all, Logic and another panelist by the name of O'Shea had me dying laughing. Shout out to Nightish, man, for giving a good show earlier. If y'all haven't subscribed to Nightish, go over to the Nightish channel and subscribe. Shout out to E Senior in the building. What's going on, bro?
No captivity.
Quantum Love, my sister, in the building. How you doing, Quantum Love? Appreciate you being here, as always.
No captivity.
MMB Beauty, she say, I'm afraid of marriage. Well, guess what, MMB? We gonna talk about it, sis. I guarantee you that.
No captivity.
Yes, we are. Yup. The Says in the building. Shout out to the Harris tribe in the building, man. The Says in the building. Y'all go subscribe to the Says. And make sure y'all go do that if y'all haven't done that already. Appreciate you being here.
No captivity.
Jermaine Cole, what's going on, bro? Good to see you, dog.
No captivity.
Julius the Trucker. He said, what up, bro? What up, bro? Could somebody welcome Julius to the No Cap crew? Appreciate you being here, Julius. Real talk.
No captivity.
So, you know, lately I haven't been wasting any time. Lately, I haven't been wasting any time, and it's not going to be a difference this evening either. Right? It ain't going to be no difference this evening, man. We ain't going to waste no time. Trust me. Let me make some changes right quick. There we go. Oh yeah, we ain't gonna waste no time, y'all. 2 Glock hot in the building. What's going on? That's my brother, y'all.
No captivity.
We about to talk about it. We about to show. I could have sworn. Write another chat, 2 Glock hot, so I can make sure of something. Write another chat. So listen, I'm about to show some videos. What I want y'all to do, I want y'all to just be discussing it in the chat. I want y'all to be discussing in the chat. I'm gonna be reading the super chats all throughout the show. But I got a lot of videos, but they're short. There are a lot of short videos though. You know what I'm saying? Mostly TikTok, but they're very informational. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is gonna be a good show. If y'all having problems in y'all relationship, we might find some answers tonight. I'm not gonna guarantee y'all that, but things are gonna look clearer and seem clearer in your relationship tonight. Whether you're in a relationship and you're not married yet, or if you're married, right? If you're divorced and you're looking to get married again, or if you're divorced and you're dating, all dynamics we gonna discuss tonight. All dynamics we gonna discuss tonight. We're gonna talk about Shaq and Shaunie and their divorce and part of the reason what caused it. Right, we're gonna talk about the NBA player Joe Smith. There's some new footage. Oh man, you know what? I don't want to say I feel sorry for that guy, but that guy be looking so pitiful. Like when I watch that guy, when I look at that guy talk, I just, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Freezy is a good guy, man. And I know Joe Smith is a cuck and he's a damn simp, but I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. I feel, man, sometimes when I hear that guy talk, I just be feeling sorry for that guy. I really do, man. I really do be feeling sorry for Joe Smith. I don't feel sorry for him, but when I look at him, I be like, why guys put theyself in that type of situation? Why do they do that? Well, we got answers. I got answers, and we're going to talk about it. I'm not going to tell y'all now, but I got answers for it, right? And I'm going to tell y'all something. I might say some things that's not favorable this evening. I might get called a simp. But one thing I'm not afraid of is telling the truth on how I really feel, especially about some of these videos that we're going to watch. I'm just tell y'all the truth on how I feel. Y'all can criticize me if you want, or you can say, oh, you know what? I agree with you, Freezy. I really do. Let me see. I got to start memorizing these cash caps. Mr. Handy ATL, remind me who you are in the chat. Could y'all please remind me so I can make sure I'm gonna write it down in my memo pad so I'll know when you send a cash cap. Mr. Handy ATL, put it in the chat so I can know exactly, because I want to make sure I announce who you are properly. TX Turner, Mr. Handy ATL. Okay, Jermaine, that's right. Okay, let me write that down in my notes, Jermaine. My bad, Jermaine. I'm finna write it down in my notes right now. Ladies, y'all heard what Jermaine said. Jermaine said he's Mr. Handy. That's what Jermaine said.
No captivity.
Y'all heard what Jermaine said now. Let me see. Cash caps. Okay. I wrote you down in my memo pad. Gotcha. Okay. Shout out.
Check the cash out, bitch. You so damn dumb. Check the cash out.
Shout out to Jermaine Cole with the $5 cash cap. He said Jeezy breakdown was excellent. Man, bro, you thought so, Jermaine? Jermaine said he thought the Jeezy breakdown was excellent. Excellent work. Man, I appreciate that, bro.
No captivity.
Appreciate that, dog. I thought it was pretty good myself, too. Shout out to Tez, the channel in the bit. Make sure y'all check out Tez the channel, all right? The 100 podcast and Tez the channel. Make sure y'all check them out and make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. The Night Star. What's going on, the Night Star? Appreciate you being here. I really do.
No captivity.
Let me see, the Night Star. Appreciate you being here, the Night Star. I really do, man. Thank you so much. So, we're going to review these videos. It might get a little sensitive. I hope I don't, bring some people back to their past, or, I hope y'all don't reminisce too much if y'all are divorced, right? I'm not trying to make y'all emotional. I'm not trying to do that, right? But it probably gonna be some people catch some feelings tonight. That's a fact. That's a big fact, right?
This one here for the thug.
It's gonna be some people catch some feelings tonight. But we gotta talk about it because we grown. Can I tell y'all something? When men get married, I'm gonna speak for the men right now. You know what men envision in their head when they get married? This what now listen. If you was a daddy's girl, don't take offense to this, okay? Cause let me tell you something. Fathers are very, very, very protective of their daughters. But before men have any kids, before they get married, before men get married, and men can lie, they can say a Freezy not telling the truth. Y'all can make it seem like Freezy is just exaggerating. No, I'm talking to the men. The men can sit up there and say, listen, I don't feel like that. You can say that all you want, but I know every man in the world that desires to get married, they had a vision of this. Let me play it for y'all. This all men want when they get married. This all they want, right? This all men want when they get married.
Set the hook. Stay on him, son. Come on. Hold up. Let me tighten this up. Oh gosh, that's a good one. Come on. Stay on him, son. Come on. Stay on him. Come on. Get him up. Really. Come on. Crank back. Don't let him pull you in. Come on. Real, son. That's a big one. Come on. Stay on him. Don't let him jump. Come on, son. Yeah! Let's freaking go, boy! Let's go! Come on, boy! Yeah! Go, man! Let's go, kid! Let's go, buddy! Look at that! Let's get him in the middle of the floor. Oh my gosh, son. What a freaking giant. Hey! Let's go, baby! Give me 5. See what happens when attitude changes and you just fish?
Now, I'm not saying that
No captivity.
the fathers don't love their little girls, because like I stated before, when men have young girls, they're more protective of the young girls, right? But before men have kids at all, when they get married, before they get married, they envision themselves in love with their wives, a happy family, peaceful family, and having a son, right, to carry on their name. Now, y'all can tell me if I'm lying. That's the American dream right there. That's what men want. That's what men want. Men, I'm gonna tell you, women, I know y'all think men are complicated, but I'm gonna tell you something. Men are very simple creatures. They just want to go fishing, check out some basketball, watch football at the house, When we get older, we start appreciating the yard a little bit more. We do some yard work. Men are very, very simple. I just want to start out this live stream so we can have some groundwork, right? We can be grounded. I can't speak for women. If you are a woman and you desire to come up, let me know and I'll put a link in the chat if you want to speak for women, right? Because this live stream, this show, we always going to stay fair and balanced, and we don't just represent for men, we want to represent for women as well. Travel One say black men are not simple, Freezy. Yes, they are. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think men are simple. Put a 2 in the chat if you think men are complicated. Let me put my 1 in the chat. Let me put my 1 in the chat. I'm gonna beat y'all. I'm gonna beat y'all this time. I'm gonna put my 1 in the chat so we can. You know what? Matter of fact, no, hold on, wait. I'm gonna put a poll in the chat. I'm gonna put a poll in the chat. I'm gonna put a poll in the chat. Okay. MMB say 2. Okay, I put a poll in the chat. Y'all vote on that poll, man. Vote on the poll. I gotta start utilizing my poll more often. Miss Piggy said, I think some men are simple, not all of them. I think most men are simple. I do. I think most men, we want to eat good. We want sex, right? Food and sex might be at the top of the list. And then, you know, we're going to have to add in something, a competition, some kind of competition. I don't know, some type of competition event like football, basketball, fishing, right? Golf. I mean, men are simple. I'm telling you, food, sex, a little friendly competition. Let me look at the chat. Yeah. Men are simple, man. I'm gonna tell you something. And I think I can speak for most men when I say this. Things get complicated when men get with women. Why that is, I don't know. We're gonna talk about it. But when men are with their homeboys or with their close friends, with other men, it's simple. I'm telling you, when men, most of the time when men are with other men, very seldom do we fight. Very seldom are we confused. Now, I'm not saying there aren't some feminine acting men out there. But most men, you know, we just simple dudes, right? Now, before we get into Joe Smith, Shaq, who else? Joe Smith, Shaq. Oh, also Tyrese and his wife. We're gonna talk about it, right? I want to play y'all this video by Chloe Bailey. Chloe Bailey. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Chloe Bailey. Chloe Bailey about to tell us what kind of woman she is in a relationship and why she's not in a relationship with a former boyfriend she had, right? Let me see. Let's listen to what Chloe Bailey had to tell us about why she's not in a relationship no more. And I want the women to be honest and tell me if y'all are this type of woman in the chat. I want y'all to be honest. Don't sugarcoat. Be honest, all right? Let's hear what Chloe Bailey got to say.
Yeah.
Sorry that you got cheated on.
So okay, the guy said, I'm sorry you got cheated on. Let's keep going.
Sorry that you got cheated on.
It's all right. Been a couple times. You know, I feel like no
Really?
matter how bad of a bitch you are, sometimes niggas will cheat.
What do you think? Is it immaturity? Is it
This my thing. What make you a bad bitch?
No captivity.
She said, you know what? No matter how bad of a bitch you think you are, you still gonna get cheated on. What makes a woman a bad B? Do women determine whether they're a bad B, or do men determine whether women are a bad B? Right? Because sometimes I think women already have this preconceived notion, oh, I'm a bad bitch. You know how y'all do, look in the mirror after y'all put y'all makeup on and, you know, your cleanser and all that. You get your hair done. Oh, I'm a bad bitch, and you slang your hair. And it's just, you know, inner confirmation, right?
scared?
Yeah, it's not a you thing. It's a them thing.
Oh, every time.
And like anytime I find out somebody cheats, I move on. And they don't believe me, I'll tell them in the beginning. I'm like, you know, we're imperfect humans, but you cheat on me, I'm out. And they don't believe me till their number's blocked.
How do you find out they're cheating on you? They just straight up tell you?
God, Instagram, life.
She said God, Instagram, life. So women, one thing about women, they sure enough be in tune with God, don't they? Don't women be in tune with God all of a sudden? Especially black women, they catch the Holy Ghost in the church, and black women, I'm gonna tell y'all something. You can't tell a black woman that God don't talk to them more than anybody else. You cannot tell a black woman that God do not talk to them more than anybody else, more than you, black man, more than any other race. God talk to the black woman more than anybody, don't they?
All the above.
Them not putting away evidence,
Really?
panties, hair ties.
You found panties.
A lash extension on the shower floor. That's not mine. I haven't been wearing lashes for a while. But I kept that to myself. I just waited to just collect more evidence.
Jesus.
Yeah.
How long would you wait before you would tell someone? How much evidence did you need?
Till they can't deny it. Till I can't be gaslit out of it.
Shit.
Yeah.
Sorry. Nobody
I'm
deserves
chilling.
that. I know
I'm
you are.
thriving
You're
and
doing
great.
great, but
You know.
Let's talk about that.
No Cap-tivity.
Now, it's never a good thing to get cheated on, whether you're a man or a woman, right? She already feel like she a bad bee. My question is, when you had an inclination that you was getting cheated on, when you found some eyelashes, or when you looked through his phone or his computer, my thing is, why did you let it pile up? Obviously, you wanted to stay in the relationship because you kept allowing yourself to find things. You're not that hard, right? You're not that put together where as soon as you find one thing and you get one inclination that he cheated on, you out of there.
This one here for the thug.
We know it don't work that way, but you waited for a while. You kept, collecting evidence. Right, MMB. Thank you. Right. Why did you stay at the crime scene? Why?
No Cap-tivity.
You know why they did? Men and women? Because women are not as hard as they think they are or you think they are. They don't want to believe. The reason why she kept collecting evidence, the reason why she stayed at the crime scene, as MMB Beauty put it, is because women do not want to feel like there is another woman pleasing their man more than they are. They want to keep thinking in their mind that they a bad bee.
No Cap-tivity.
That's why it took so long. But what she should have did was pull him to the side and say, hey, I found something. The very first thing, when you wasn't sure about leaving him, before you got so mad about, to leave, and before you became a pain freak, no, you should have sat him down and said, hey, is there a problem? I found this. Can we talk about it? Because I'm not ready to break up. I'm not ready to leave this relationship. Is there something I'm doing wrong? Obviously, I'm not the bad bee I thought I was. Newsflash, women have pride too, and ego.
No Cap-tivity.
I know y'all ain't think they do. I know y'all thought they was just these soft, innocent creatures and these vulnerable, No, women have ego and pride too. That's why she kept collecting stuff and, and she just wanted to have this gotcha moment. In the end, nobody wins, but we're gonna try to figure out a solution how everybody can win in these relationships, right? Let's go on to the next video. I told y'all I got a slew of videos. Let's see. Now, Chloe Bailey already said that, hey, we think we bad bees. We think we bad bitches. We seen the video with the woman saying that she don't want to go to Cheesecake Factory. She is not finna accept no damn Cheesecake Factory. Well, there's another video that just hit the scene not too long ago. And this woman is she's demanding where she wants to be taken on the first date as well. Before y'all go into marriages, before y'all go into committed relationships, do y'all really be serious? Do y'all really be serious about having healthy relationships? What do y'all deem important going into relationships? Is it not eating at a chain restaurant? Let's look at this video, y'all.
Thank you. Ooh. Oh my God, he got an awesome.
You ready to go out to eat?
Sure,
You get a little,
it's a little cold. Can we turn the air down just a little bit?
Oh, okay. No problem. We'll go out to eat, and then I'm thinking, like to a movie or something. You cool with it?
Okay. Where we going out to eat at?
Well, I was thinking like Cracker Barrel.
No.
You don't like Cracker Barrel?
Mm-mm.
Well, just in case you didn't like it, I went and put together a little list of my notes. We can go to Applebee's. You like Applebee's? Chili's?
No.
Cheesecake Factory?
No.
Chipotle?
No.
Olive Garden?
No.
Buffalo Wild Wing?
No.
Wild Wing Cafe?
No.
Starbucks?
I don't do coffee dates.
So you don't want to eat, is what you're saying?
No, I do want to eat, but I mean the list that you're rattling off, there's not a place that you go for a first date.
Well, where you go?
I was thinking something more like Ruth Chris, the Sundial, maybe like I was thinking Noble or whatever. You're not listening.
Wrong nigga, come on.
Huh?
I'm wrong.
What?
Come on.
Come on. You put me out?
Yeah. You have to get on Facebook dating or something.
We didn't even leave yet though.
We not.
Okay. Okay. I mean, we could talk about. I mean,
I ain't to talk about. You told me you want to go to Nobu. Get your Nobu.
No Cap-tivity.
I know that was a skit as well. It seemed like it was a skit, but the reason why these skits are so relevant now, because these incidents are happening more and more and more in real life.
No Cap-tivity.
People are becoming more and more vain, especially women, right? Especially, black women, because, look who are black women's role models nowadays. You got Beyonce, right? You got Nicki Minaj. You got Meg Thee Stallion. You got Housewives of Atlanta, the basketball wives, right? Real House. Yeah, there's so many housewives now. There's so many reality shows, right? All the women expect to be extravagant. All the women expect to go to the finest places, the finest vacations, the finest locations, right?
This one here for the thug.
People are messed up before they even go into relationships. People are already messed up before they go into marriages. Unhealthy people are being joined with unhealthy people. Toxicity is at an all-time high. Let's look at this next let's look at this next video. So remember we talked about Joe Smith, y'all? Joe Smith appeared on Cameron's podcast. Cameron was, basically interviewing her, but things got a little frisky. And it's not to a surprise, because once everybody found out that, who she was and how hoish she was, Cameron, he didn't hesitate to flirt with this woman. I want y'all to see, how Cameron handled this woman on this interview. Y'all check this out.
What else have you been doing besides OnlyFans? And what have y'all been going through financially that you felt you had to do this?
Now, just in case some of y'all don't know, this is Keisha Chavez. I think that's her name. This is Joe Smith's wife. They haven't gotten a divorce yet, but she's been doing her rounds, doing interviews. She did one with TMZ. Now she's with, I don't know, she's been a few places, but this one here is with Cameron's talk show. I think it's called Ain't No Way. Is it Ain't No Way? I don't know. No, it's not Ain't No Way. I don't know. I forgot the name of the talk show, but because I know he got a sports show with Mace, but I don't know the name of this one here. If it's not the same. No, it is what it is. I see it right there. That's the name of the show. So she's doing, y'all pay attention to this interview.
I've had a bartending service called Cocktail Hour with Kiss since I've been here. I have a moving company called Major Movers and Cleaning. And then I also have a massage business called the Body Rub Babes.
Nice. Do the Body Rub Babes travel?
Yes, they do.
Are you one of the Body Rub Babes?
Well, I have been, but now I kind of like,
Could you
nervous to do anything.
But if I wanted you to be one of my Body Rub Babes, like, would you be a Body Rub Babe for me?
Do y'all see the disrespect? When men, it don't even matter if you're married, right? When men find out that you a hoe, when men find out that you will move something, they don't give a damn if you got a husband. They gonna strike. They gonna take a jab at you. It ain't no more respect level. It ain't no more respect. When they see how you dress, when they see how you carry yourself, when they see what you're willing to do, when they find out you got an OnlyFans, when they find out you have naked on your Instagram page and you got a lot of followers, it's all systems go, no holds barred. They don't give a damn if you married. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. Now, because I don't mean to be unprofessional or anything like that, but I can't stop looking at your cleavage. It's your cleavage is popping, babe. No, you can leave it how it was, man. You can leave it exactly how it was, man. Right now I'm thinking about cleavage.
So that's the first video. Let's look at the next video. Let's continue this because it's three parts to this video. When I tell y'all these videos were kind of cringe.
No Cap-tivity.
It was very cringe. And it gets worse as it goes on, too. It really does. Let's see. Here we go.
In the Body Rub Babes, but now don't cover her. It's cool.
It's like,
Yeah, baby. I'm sorry to get off track, man, but sorry about that kiss. We'll talk afterward.
Now, I don't know if y'all caught that, but he said if he need a body rub, babe, will you be okay with being my personal body rub, babe? And she said, sure. But when he started making sexual advances and she realized she was on camera, y'all check this out.
But about the body rub, babe, and everything else. But he just threw me off for a minute.
If it's not me, it'd be someone equally as beautiful, I promise.
I mean, yeah, I see.
Now if it's not me, it'll be someone beautiful as me. Now she realized he's trying to F-U-C-K. He's making sexual advances and he don't give a damn you got a husband. Whose fault is that? Could somebody speak up and tell me whose fault is that?
Why Joe was a little upset. You are very, very pretty. And from at least the stomach up, you're sexy and gorgeous. To say the least.
Now, I want you... We're going to play this next video. This is why I say, man, I ain't going to lie. Joe Smith, he's a grown man. He made his bed and he's got to lie in it. Right? Joe Smith made his bed and he's got to lie in it. But I ain't gonna lie. When I seen this video, y'all, when I seen this next video, I kind of felt sorry for Joe Smith. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. To support this channel, send a super cap, aka super chat, or send a cash cap, aka cash out. Let me see. Shout out to my sister, Lady Naveau, in the building. Appreciate you.
Check the cash out, bitch.
No Cap-tivity.
She said, hey, bro, still didn't keep your words. I'm sorry. Sis, I'm sorry. So listen, sis, when I tell you I've been all over the place, I'm so sorry, sis. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna reach out to you later on after this live stream is over with. I'm so sorry. Let me see. I'm gonna play this next video for y'all because this next video is so cringe. It's pitiful. It's pitiful. Y'all check this out.
Believe it, I was, man.
This is Joe Smith. This is Keisha Chavez's wife, the woman that we seen talking to Cameron. This is her husband, Joe Smith, a former NBA player. Here we go.
Believe it, I was, man. You can leave it exactly how it was, man. Right now I'm thinking about cleavage and the body rub babes, but don't cover her school.
It's like,
Yeah, baby.
Cameron being Cameron. That's still your wife. I mean, seeing that, does that bother you at all?
It bothers me a lot. I mean, not just saying that, but the messages that I get from people who actually went to her OnlyFans page and, they sent me on.
The way, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I know guys like this in real life. I know guys like this in real life. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. Joe Smith, in my heart of hearts, how I really feel, I feel like Joe Smith is a good guy. I just feel like he's so green and so gullible. Right? He didn't really have a lot of street sense. He really didn't have a lot of, sense about himself. He really wasn't prudent in the NBA. He spent his money foolishly trying to impress people. He looked so insecure, right? How many guys do we know like this? The reason why he don't got that money he used to have in NBA because he's insecure. And most of the time, insecure people try to impress too much.
Instagram or Facebook, talking about how my wife looks and how my wife, what my wife, kind of pictures my wife got up. And so, I mean, that's my first time hearing it vocally from someone, but I've been seeing it all week.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry you're going through this. Because
let me play it one more time, y'all.
Leave it how it was, man. You can leave it exactly how it was, man. Right now I'm thinking about cleavage and the body rub babes, but don't cover her school.
It's like,
Yeah, baby.
Can I tell y'all something? The sad part about it is Cameron is going to F the shit out of Joe Smith's wife. You can best believe that.
No Cap-tivity.
Cameron being Cameron. That's still your wife. I mean, seeing that, does that bother you at all?
It bothers me a lot. I mean, not just saying that, but the messages that I get from people who actually went to her OnlyFans page and, you know, they sent me on Instagram or Facebook, you know, talking about how my wife looks and how my wife, you know, what my wife, kind of pictures my wife got up. And so, I mean, that's my first time hearing it vocally from someone, but I've been seeing it all week.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry you're going through this. Because
Super chat. Shout out to 2 Glock Hot. 2 Glock Hot say, man, damn Joe. He knew what hell she was. That's a fact, dog. He knew, right? Why did he insist on going into that relationship and marrying this woman? Well, I got an answer for y'all. Shout out to 2 Glock Hot for the $2 super cap. I appreciate you, dog. I got an answer for y'all. The answer is, are y'all ready for it? While Joe Smith was in the NBA, he ran into so many disingenuous women. He spent his money on so many women that used him to, abused his kindness. A lot of times, these NBA players, they have sex with so many women, so many groupies, it's hard to trust women. When he probably spent a lot of his money, his portfolio. When he ran into Keisha Chavez, they both shared the same thing. Y'all know what that was? They both was looking for someone who was going to accept them for who they was and was going to love them for who they was. They both was looking for someone who was going to love them for who they were. Joe Smith was looking for a woman who was going to love him unconditionally, even though he spent most of his damn money. And Keisha Chavez was looking for someone who was going to love her, even though she was sucking dick on corn videos.
No Cap-tivity.
These type of people don't need to get together. Y'all need to stop taking these movies serious like it could be a happily ever after story. And there's somebody out there for me. No, what you need to do is you need to take a step back, look at your life and clean it up before you take all that BS to somebody else's life. You messed up, now y'all messed up together. And imagine if 2 messed up people have kids. Well, that's what's been going on, and that's what's been going on lately, right? This show is designed to try to prevent a lot of that. So it won't be a lot of Keisha Chavez's and Joe Smiths. Well, I got another video, right? All right, listen, we still got a lot of videos to cover. It's gonna get, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, people, nerves is gonna get bad. I'm gonna bring back some bad memories. Y'all gonna start hating your ex-husbands again. Some of y'all gonna start hating your ex-wives again. Some of y'all gonna start hating your baby daddies. But by the end of this podcast, you might have a change of heart and say, you know what? It was me. It was me. I blame myself for making the wrong decisions.
No Cap-tivity.
I know y'all ain't there yet, but we gonna get there. Just chill. Just chill. Let's look at this next video, y'all. Cause Joe Smith, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Joe Smith, we're gonna pray for old Joe. We're gonna pray for Joe Smith, y'all. This next video is featuring Tristan Thompson. Do y'all know who Tristan Thompson is? Do y'all know who the Kardashians are? Tristan Thompson, I believe, was in a relationship with Khloe Kardashian. Was he married? Put it in the chat if he was married to Khloe Kardashian. I know they had a child together. But were they married? Were they ever married? I don't remember. It's too much to keep up with. But I'm about to play this video, right? Y'all check out this video with Tristan Thompson. Should I play it right here or should I play it in the, I'll play it right here. Here we go.
Tristan is coming over. I do feel a little nervous.
Everyone got affected differently, you know, but I think you were affected the most.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how scared are you? Tristan and I really have not connected, and I just can't fake it. Do you feel anything?
When I cheat, I feel disgusted the next day.
So then why do you do it again?
Did y'all hear that? He said, she asked him, does he feel any type of way when he cheat? He says, when I cheat, I feel disgusted the next day. We're gonna talk about it. I know y'all women don't believe this nigga. I know you don't.
Tristan is coming over. I do feel a little nervous.
Everyone got affected differently, you know, but I think you were affected the most.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how scared are you? Tristan and I really have not connected, and I just can't fake it. Do you feel anything?
When I cheat, I feel disgusted the next day.
So then why do you do it again?
This one here for the thug.
My bad, y'all. That was Kourtney Kardashian asking him, how do you feel when you cheat? He said, when I cheat, I feel disgusted the next day. And then she asked him a key question. Well, why do you do it again then if you feel disgusted the next day? That was a great question. I'm going to speak for men right now at this present time. And like I said before, if there's a woman that wants to link, you don't have to show your face. You could just call in and give your perspective in the back, right? I'll keep you in the back. You can hear your audio. But when men step outside of their relationship, I'm telling y'all right now, after it's over with, and I'm pretty sure there are men that can identify with this. Matter of fact, let me put a poll in the chat. Okay, so we agree that men are simple. Let me put another poll in the chat. This poll is only for men. This poll is only for men, okay? I don't even know if I should leave this poll in the chat because I know women gonna vote too and y'all gonna put no. This poll is only for men, okay, women? Let me try it anyway. When men cheat, do you feel bad afterwards? Okay, there's a poll. I don't even know why I put that poll in the chat. Because I know women gonna vote too. Y'all gonna make sure y'all make it lopsided. But anyway, I want to say this. When we looked at Jeezy and Nia Long a couple of days ago, right? Shout out to Jermaine Cole. He said that in that review we did on Jeezy and Nia Long was a great show, right? Well, if y'all can remember during that show, Jeezy specifically said real ninjas don't cheat. The reason why Jeezy said that is because real men, right? Real men do not want to cheat. We actually want to be in a relationship. The reason why Joe Smith joined himself to Keisha Chavez is because men actually want to be married. Men actually want to be in a relationship with women that they can trust, that, you know, they feel safe with. I'm telling you, men only really want to have sex with their woman. But very seldomly is that woman willing to actually give that man what he actually wants, which is peace, home cooked meals, freaky sex. If you're not that good at sex, just learn with your man. Hey, let's try this today. Hey, let's try. He just coming home from work. Soon as he come in from work, hey. Just like Kevin Samuel said, make sure your man's balls is drained. It sounds simple, but most women do not do that. I'm telling y'all, okay.
No Cap-tivity.
Then when all hell break loose, oh, he ain't shit. I can't believe it. I can't believe you did this to me. Men don't really talk like that. Real men aren't crybabies. If there's a problem in the house, if he's not getting what he wants, he's not going to whine about it. A real woman, though, is going to notice when there's a problem and when there's something wrong. Tell me if I'm lying. But most modern day women are very self-centered and into themselves, and they think they bad bitches. Just like Chloe Bailey said. Therein lies the problem. Let me see what the poll is saying. Listen, it say, when men cheat, do you feel bad after? 62% no, really. Women, y'all need to stop voting on this damn poll. Let me end this damn poll, because I know what women voting too. Y'all just don't know how to follow the instructions, damn it. But, yeah. Men actually want to get married. Men like security too. Men like to feel secure. Men don't like, we don't want to just be out here, you know, that shit get old. It really does. Like, if y'all think men just be wanting to have sex with different, no, listen, men want to build legacies, right? They want to have children. They want to have, especially little boys, a young boy, you know, they want to work hard. They want to build a legacy. We talking about real men. We ain't talking about Pookies, and we're not talking about Pookies and Keisha Chavez's, right? We talking about real men. Like Jeezy said, real men don't cheat. We don't want to cheat. Real men don't want to cheat. Most modern day women, matter of fact, let me put another poll up. It's finna get spicy. Let me put another poll up. We're gonna play a game. Are most women willing to please their man 100%? I guess everybody might as well vote. I can't stop y'all from voting. Are most women willing to please their man 100%? Hit that voting cage, y'all. Let me see what y'all think. Just Jay say that makes no sense. Free. What makes no sense? I'm lost. I'm lost, sis. Let me know what don't make sense. I need to know. Listen, don't be afraid to tell. I told y'all at the beginning of this live stream, don't be afraid to criticize Freezy. Don't be afraid to say something don't make sense. Well, in this case with my sister, she said that don't make sense, but I don't know exactly what she's saying don't make sense. Oh, the question, are most women willing to please their man? Why it don't make sense? Are you saying that some of the things that the man might want his woman to do, it might not be within her moral code or something? Is that what you're saying? Damn, y'all put 100%. Damn. Now, well, let me put the majority of the time then. Let me get rid of this poll. Okay, I'm gonna change this poll and I'm gonna put the majority of the time. Cause y'all got 100%. Y'all ain't even give it a chance. Are most women willing to please their husband? Most of the time. Most of the time. How about that? Is that better, Just Jay? Most of the time. I changed it. I feel what you're saying, Just Jay. Now I'm finna play this next video, right? Tristan Thompson said he feels terrible the next day after he cheats. Now, this next video is going to be featuring Shaquille O'Neal, and there's another woman that had a baby from Dwight Howard, Royce Reed. Now, Royce Reed revealed some shocking information about Shaquille O'Neal when Shaquille was married to his wife, Shaunie. And just in case y'all noticed, that was who was all three of those people was who was on the thumbnail of this live stream. Royce Reed revealed some shocking information. And we're going to talk about it. Y'all check this out. Let's get to it.
I tried to confide in her during filming.
Yeah.
And even with that, I realized I couldn't trust her because prior to the show even starting, I had sent her a thread of where her ex-husband, had been texting me. And nothing ever happened. He actually cursed me out because I wouldn't talk to him. But I wanted everything to be out in the open. I wanted her to see everything, so if anything ever happened or was said, she knew it wasn't true.
So while Shaunie was married to Shaq, Shaq was texting you flirty messages.
Yes, but this was when I was dancing. So,
as a cheerleader.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it came down to how he get your number, and he had got.
So Shaq was trying to get into Royce Reed's draws behind his wife back, right? At the time, Shaq was married to Shaunie O'Neal. I think she's one of the co-founders of the Basketball Wives. She helped put that show together. Y'all check it out.
Gotten it from one of the ball boys, right? Had the ball boy get my number because we used to all go out and hang at parties. Like, we were cool.
So, Shaunie, right? She didn't believe Royce Reed. Royce Reed was trying to tell Shaunie, hey, your husband, he keeps making advances at me. He's trying to get me to sleep with him, basically. And Shaunie was like, well, how did my husband get your number? Because basically Shaunie O'Neal felt like Royce was lying and she was another groupie, Turns out Shaunie O'Neal, from what I can see, I don't know Shaunie O'Neal personally, but I think she got married again to some preacher guy or whatnot. But it seems like Shaunie O'Neal always been solid on her end. People give her good reviews as far as, what type of woman she is. She's a good wife. Even Shaquille O'Neal said she's a good wife. No complaints on Shaunie O'Neal. Let's hear what Shaq had to say. So obviously we know that Shaq and Shaunie eventually ended up getting a divorce. Let's see what Shaq had to say, y'all.
Best feeling for me was coming home and hearing 5, 6 different voices. Don't matter if I missed 15 free throws and we lost, they don't care about that. Dogman's home. Like, I used to play something called Dogman. As soon as I come in, I turn into a wild dog and I chase my bite. And look, I was just being greedy. I had the perfect situation. Wife was finer than a mug. Kept giving me babies, still finer than a mug. I had it all. Just sometimes and I don't make excuses. I know I messed up. And then, you know, when I didn't have that, I was lost. 76,000 square foot house by yourself. Lost. No kids. Go to the gym, nobody's playing in the gym. You go to their room, nobody's there. You start to feel it. You know, may not be a husband, but I'm always being a father. And the father's job is to protect, provide, and love.
Now let me tell y'all something.
No captivity.
Some dudes deserve what they get, right? Tristan Thompson said he feels like crap after he gets done cheating. He feels like crap the next day. I don't know if Shaq felt like crap the next day, but obviously these guys kept cheating while they was married, right? This is what I gotta say to all the men that desire to get married and all the men that are married now. If you're a man that desires to get married, and if you're a man that's married now, if you still think you're going to have sex with other women, if you still look at other women to the point where you want to have sex with them and stuff like that, you don't need to get married.
No captivity.
Don't marry this woman. All you're doing is headed to a, disaster, right? And let me tell y'all, so let's just be honest. A lot of these women, they go into these relationships with these high profile guys, these high value men, right? Well, Kevin Samuels wouldn't consider Shaquille O'Neal or Joe Smith or Tristan Thompson high value men because he said he didn't count athletes. But I think that Shaquille O'Neal would be considered a high-value man now because he has great networking power. This man got businesses, right? I think I forgot. I think he's co-owner of a pizza joint too or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that I never bought into what Kevin Samuels said when he said, high value men don't cheat. They just exercise options. I never agreed with that. Never.
This one here for the thug.
High value men cheat too. Just because you make a lot of money doesn't give you jurisdiction to go out and have sex with another woman and possibly bring home a damn disease to your wife. Every time Kevin Samuels said that shit, I never agreed with that. I never agree with that. If you're not prepared to be exclusive to your wife before you get married, you shouldn't get married. You shouldn't lock yourself in contractually with the United States of America with this woman. Just keep living your life free and just keep doing that. Whatever, why even bring a woman into that? Now, some women, right, are to blame as well because some women go into they purposely marry these men knowing they're going to get a divorce. It's a cash grab. We know that, right? It's a cash grab. And I'm saying, when you look at it, a lot of these men are so stupid. They think these women actually love them and they're going to be with them for the rest of their life. No, the woman know you going to cheat. She know you going to practice infidelity, and she just waiting on the right time to strike to divorce your ass so she can get half of you shooting in the damn gym.
No captivity.
Now, if you got something arranged with your woman where you're telling her, listen, before we get married, I'm gonna have sex with other women, and she goes for that, and she's willing to sign paperwork like a prenup, and she is gonna absolve her from getting most of your finances because you was the only one shooting in the gym. Okay, whatever floats your boat, that's fine. A smart businessman will do that, right? But all I'm saying is, biblically, right? I'm saying morally, to build a solid foundation, not just for your wife and your home, but for also your kids. If you plan on having kids, to be the best examples for your kids is to actually practice the most discipline in your marriage. And discipline, I mean, no drugs, no excessive drinking, and practicing keeping the sexual activities within the confines of your marriage. Discipline is power. Especially if you know you got a good woman, especially if you know you got a good man. Shaquille O'Neal is a powerful man, but now, as you've seen in the video, he regrets to this day that he was abusing his power and was cheating with all these women while he was with Shaunie O'Neal. Well, her last name is Henderson now.
No Cap-tivity.
Well, we're gonna play another video. This next video is going to describe regrets of divorce. I don't know if this is a psychologist. I don't know who he is, but he gave some great information on people. The biggest regrets of divorce for men. I think it's for men. Let me see. No, it's just his clients. Divorce attorney shares his clients' biggest regrets. So let's look at what the divorce attorney had to say. Or listen in on what the divorce attorney had to say.
What are some of the most significant regrets your clients have expressed, wishing they could go back and alter as their marriage is coming to an end?
I think you have, so we were talking about it before. They say that ladies file most frequently, and statistically we already know it takes them a long time to decide to leave. Most of the ladies are saying I should have left a long time ago. And I think the guys are I don't think the guys are ready, and this is average. This isn't everyone across the board. It's overgeneralizing, of course. But I think what I see most with the guys is just completely distraught and feel like they're blindsided by the divorce and the breakup of the relationship, and not really ready yet to analyze any regrets or what they could have done better. The biggest regret is I never should have gotten married, and I never should have married this, So I'm not really hearing regrets as much as I'm hearing just guys needing to figure it out, and gals saying I'm glad I did it. I should have done it a long time ago. So.
What we just heard was this divorce attorney saying most of his clients, the men, their biggest regret is being blindsided by the divorce. The biggest regret for women is, of course, it's pride and ego. Women saying, I should have did it a long time ago. When divorce is cultivating in a marriage, most of the time, right, this is according to the divorce attorney, it's the women that already know they're contemplating divorce. Most of the time, men aren't even contemplating divorce. When men get married, they're in it for the long haul, no matter how bad it gets. And I know y'all find that hard to believe, right? Let me look at this poll. Are most willing to please their husband most of the time? No, 67%. I'll leave it down there. Maybe it'll increase. Maybe the year will increase. But most women, they're already contemplating divorce. They're already making mental provisions and physical provisions as well for divorce. Most men are just hit in the face. And the biggest regret with, like, according to the divorce attorney, right? The divorce attorney is saying, most of the men are saying, man, why'd I even marry this woman? I can't trust this woman. And then most men are left, you know, without trusting women because they're blindsided by the divorce. And most women are saying, most of his clients that are women are saying, you know what? I took too long to get the divorce. I should have did it when I first thought about it.
Super chat.
Shout out to T Will. T Will, you're the sole sponsor of the show. Just in case you haven't noticed, bro. Shout out to T Will with the suit out $2 super cap. He said, what's dirty is she cheat and she still get half.
No Cap-tivity.
Most of the time, but we have been seeing a different dynamic, especially with celebrities and entertainers, where the woman is the breadwinner and the men have been getting compensated. Hey, women want equality, and this how things are going in these modern days and time. That's what you ask for. But yeah, for a long time it was like that, T Will. For a long time. Let's look at this next video. This next video, I want y'all to pay attention to this video, right? Because we're going to talk about different dynamics when it comes to divorce and marriage, right? Every situation is not the same. There's no picture perfect divorce or picture perfect marriage. You know, every situation is the same, but I want y'all to listen to what this young lady had to say pertaining to her divorce. Let me see.
Divorce my husband. Why did I divorce my husband? I divorced my husband because I was making a certain amount of money. I divorced my husband because I thought I didn't need him anymore. I divorced my husband because I had this senior position at work and thought I held the same position at home. I divorced my husband because I thought I was better than him because I had my degree now. I divorced my husband because I thought a successful marriage meant I was here and he was down here. That is not success. That's fucking sickness. All the while, my husband done found somebody else building a relationship and building a life with them.
Let me play that one more time.
Divorce my husband. Why did I divorce my husband? I divorced my husband because I was making a certain amount of money. I divorced my husband because I thought I didn't need him anymore. I divorced my husband because I had this senior position at work and thought I held the same position at home. I divorced my husband because I thought I was better than him because I had my degree now. I divorced my husband because I thought a successful marriage meant I was here and he was down here. That is not success. That's fucking sickness. All the while, my husband done found somebody else building a relationship and building a life with them.
I'm gonna tell y'all something, and that dynamic is gonna keep happening more and more and more in today's time.
No Cap-tivity.
That is gonna keep happening. Shout out to Dear Dad. She said, so Sam put this cause it explains her situation, not the general consensus. Who is Sam? Is Sam the woman in the video? I don't know. But shout out to Dear Dash. Thank you for being here. But it's going to keep happening because more and more women are getting educated. More and more women are becoming business owners. More and more women are having less time at home. A lot of times we think that we want money. We want cars. We want clothes. We want a big house. And so often we lose sight of the most important things in our lives. That husband or that wife that actually had your back, the one that was actually that will actually do anything for you. You let your friends talk you out of it. You was trying to keep up with the Joneses. Your mama been told you not to do that. You thought you was better than your husband, you know, because you make more money and you thought that's the answer to life. You was balling out of control. You started talking to him like he wasn't shit. Disrespecting the man. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. When you break that threshold, it's hard to come back from that. And this explains a lot of infidelity. The biggest violation to a man, and men can tell me if I'm wrong, the biggest violation to a man is disrespect.
No Cap-tivity.
When you constantly disrespect your man, it's only a matter of time before he starts spending time with another woman that's actually respecting him and making him feel like the man.
This one here for the thug.
Especially if this man isn't mature enough to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to leave her alone. I'm going to break up with her. I'm not going to cheat in my relationship. Before I cheat, I'm going to leave this woman. Most men, like y'all, the reason why I'm playing these videos in order is because there's a storyline, right? Most men end up cheating in their relationships or marriage because they don't want to say, hey, their relationship is over with. Most men aren't quitters. Most men aren't quitters. Let me keep saying that. Most men aren't quitters. Most men want to win. But within the confines of their marriage, the reason why they cheat is because they, in their mind, psychologically, they're looking at it as, you know what? I'm going to just use this other woman as a coping mechanism so I won't just all the way cuss my woman out or call out her name or just get physical. This other woman, I'm going to just use her to take the pressure off. And psychologically, that's how most men think. But I really love my main woman. She just disrespect me. But I want to win. We're going to make this relationship win, though. I'm not a loser. No, we're going to win. That's how most men think. And yeah, we already know the women are going to say, he's a dog for cheating. He's a damn dog, right?
No Cap-tivity.
But when he was telling you, hey, don't talk to me like that. Hey, listen, why don't you support me? Like, you know, you see what I'm doing. You see what kind of, I'm trying to grow my business. Why don't you help me out? Why don't you, help me pass out these flyers or put up these posters or send these emails out? Why don't you show no interest in my business and what I'm doing? Why don't you make me feel like I'm important? Why you keep talking to me any kind of way? Why you keep talking down on me? Why you keep acting like you a bad bitch?
No Cap-tivity.
Then guess what? He run into this woman at the grocery store. She help him out at the in the bakery section and say, what are you looking for? I can help you out. Oh, I'm just looking for some damn Puerto Rican bread. Oh, it's over here. That's all you needed. I like your haircut.
This one here for the thug.
A lot of these things can be prevented. Luckily, I found the Most High, and no matter what, right? I'm going to stay faithful to him. But you ain't going to really run across a man like Freezy. I'm talking to the everyday average folk. You understand what I'm saying? Let's play this next video, y'all. Here's another woman. Let's see what she had to say. Here we go.
The worst thing you can do to yourself in your relationship is divorce someone while you're still in love with that individual. You leave a door wide open, and the door is very hard to close even after the divorce. When you sign your name on the dotted line, you have come into agreement that you will no longer be together. The reality is, if you're still in love with this person, even signing your name on that dotted line it's going to affect you. And so I want to let you know this: before you sign your name on the dotted line, seek help. I always advise that people seek individual help first and then seek marital help, because the reality is you can focus on yourself and work on you and then come together. Don't allow yourself to get to that place just yet. Don't sign those papers just yet. Give it a chance. Allow a mediator to get involved before you sign those papers, so that when you close the door, it stays closed.
Don't have regrets.
No captivity.
A lot of y'all are so quick to file for divorce. 80% women, right? Statistically. And so often you regret it. Because after you file for divorce from the man that you actually knew for years, and you knew this man was at the very least heterosexual, right?
This one here for the thug.
Yeah, he messed up, and you know, he might have stepped out on you a couple times, right? But you didn't tell yourself the truth. Very seldomly do everybody take accountability for their part that they played in why this shit ain't working out. Ain't it time to be grown adults? Ain't it time to tell the truth? Ain't it time to stop pointing the finger at the other person and start looking in the mirror?
No captivity.
Just like a couple of videos stated before from the divorce attorney, he said most of his clients, right? Most of the women clients, they regret not getting a divorce sooner. Remember we talked about that pride and ego. I know y'all don't think so, but a lot of women got pride and ego. And then the men are so blindsided, and they be like, damn, I can't believe, she actually went through with this divorce. I can't believe it, right? And then once these women go back out there, especially at an older age, in their 40s or 50 years old, that's when they run into the wild, wild west. And things ain't like they thought it was gonna be. And they start running into these dudes, these peculiar dudes. And then it's almost like you start seeing funny shit. You start wondering if this dude is on the up and up. You start trying to wonder if this dude, okay, he looked like, he's well groomed and stuff, but you start seeing tendencies and you're just not sure on, which way this dude. You understand what I'm saying?
No captivity.
And then your dating life start looking a little bit like this. This how your dating life start looking.
You can be honest.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're starting. You gonna have to take your seatbelt off because men don't wear seatbelts anymore. It's really giving sassy energy.
Wait, like take this, like, huh?
Yeah, take your seatbelt.
Even like, okay, we sitting here.
Even when you're driving, men don't wear seatbelts like that. But I'm just giving you examples. You asked me for examples. The whole, I heard you on the phone with your friend. You're talking about, you know, planning a birthday dinner. That's really giving like broke wrist energy. Men don't do birthday dinners. I did notice that you had some fish in your freezer when I was getting some ice for my drink earlier. Men don't eat fish. And when we go to a restaurant, you can actually drink out of the cup. You don't have to use a straw. That's crazy. You had a ring light in your house. And you know, like when you're on TikTok, you're you know, some people videos pop up from your contacts. I saw that you do have a TikTok account. It's crazy. Grown men doing TikToks is wild. I know you like cereal, but it's just certain cereal. Like, what happened to real men eating Wheaties? You know, like back in the day, you got like Cocoa Puffs and Frosted Flakes. Like Frosted Flakes.
You can stand outside. I'm about to order you a lift. We'll be at this Target. I'm about to order you a lift. Put your home address in right here.
No Cap-tivity.
Once y'all go through with these divorces, you don't know the next guy that you start dating. You just don't know if you can trust everything about him. You don't even know if he's 100% heterosexual. But one thing you did have with your last relationship, right, was security. You knew exactly who your man was. Right? And it's true what this lady said, what the lady said on the video before this one. Before you get a divorce, go to counseling. Make sure this is what you want to do. You understand what I'm saying? Because once you sign on the dotted line and you complete everything, now you back in the dating world. And I know a lot of you women are saying, that don't mean I'm going to date right away. Yeah, but eventually you will. And now you're going to have to trust that this dude is 100% man. And that you can trust him. And that he's going to, you know, take care of you. And he's, you know, you're going to be secure with this man, the next man. Now, I'm not saying that the next situation just won't be better than your last situation. Obviously, Shaunie O'Neal, you know, she's happier now. It seems like she's happier now. She done found her preacher man, and she seems like she's happier now. But so often, we hear these regret stories, don't we? Don't we? I can't hear you. Let me see what this poll looking like. Okay, we'll get rid of that poll. Y'all, listen. Y'all don't like pleasing y'all man. We get it. Y'all don't like pleasing y'all man. This is why we having problems. This is why we have problems. We're going to get to the bottom of this stuff, right? So this next video, just in case y'all ain't seen it yet, I actually haven't seen it yet, but this is Tyrese's ex-wife. She's going to talk about her marriage, her former marriage to Tyrese. I want y'all to check this out, man.
You tell yourself to not actually divorce?
Not at that moment, no. Like at that moment, no, I would not. I would, if it was me talking to me in that moment, I'd be like, no, don't do this. Do you see how you're reacting to this? Like, you're so emotional. I can tell you don't have peace about this. Like, I know that this is not where you're supposed to be right now. Yeah. Like, you give it time, be more patient, like, wait till the dust settles. I definitely would have told me in that moment, no.
Got it.
Lawyers, court systems win in this. No, families don't win in divorce.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Lawyers win. They win. Families don't win. You don't win when a family is broken apart. I think Jay-Z said this. He's like, nobody wins when the family feuds.
Yeah.
Nobody wins. It's not a situation where somebody is a winner. But you basically, when you get lawyers involved, And there was a therapist I was speaking to, both me and him, a marital therapist at the time, that when I told him my decision, he was like, when you get lawyers involved, it gets ugly. He told me that. And, I didn't even realize, I don't think I even realized how ugly it would get.
Cap-tivity.
I got to read my sister Quantum Love is back's chat. If y'all want y'all chats read, send a super chat, okay? But I had to read this one. It was so sweet. She said, the next man sounds like Freezy speaking my vision board into existence. I appreciate that, sis. I really do. Make sure he get a haircut though. But I've been growing my damn facial hair out for a reason. It's like a challenge for my channel. Just in case y'all been wondering, that's why I've been growing my facial hair out. I appreciate that, sis. If y'all want y'all chat read though, please send a super chat. I'm gonna open up the call lines after the last video, because I want to hear from y'all. Let's discuss what Tyrese Gibson's ex-wife said. So she said she had a lot of people in her ear, primarily her friends, right? Her female friends was telling her, hey, you need to leave him. And she was saying, if you really love your family, it's just never a good thing to break up a family, especially when kids are involved. She quoted, Jay-Z when she says he said the family never wins when you break apart. Right? Let's go back to the interview with Jeezy and Nia Long. Remember what Nia Long said? Jeezy asked Nia Long, even if you have kids, would you be willing to divorce your husband and leave your family? She said, yeah. If I'm not satisfied, Nia Long said if she's not happy, she will get a divorce. She will leave. She will break up the family, even if she got kids. Men, I'm telling y'all right now, do not marry a woman like that.
No captivity.
That's what you call self-centered, selfish, egotistical, self-centered, egotistical, self-centered. How many times did I say self-centered? You don't want to tie yourself to somebody like that. Trust and believe that. I'm telling y'all right now. It's not going to end well. They're eventually going to leave. You're going to be walking on eggshells. You're going to fall off the tightrope. Nobody's perfect. It's designed for failure. No cushion involved.
You so damn dumb. Check the cash out.
Shout out to my sister, Lady Nevo again. She said with the cash cap, she said the other half because I love my big bro. Thank you, sister. Thank you, Lady Nevo. I really appreciate that.
No captivity.
If you want your chat read, send a super chat, or a cash cap, aka cash app, to $Freezy 1976. That is. She has another video, y'all. Let's hear what she had to say on this next video. This is Tyrese's wife.
I would never tell, I work with women. I would never tell a woman to walk through that in the same frame of mind I was in when I did it.
And when you say that, but what frame of mind was that? What do you mean by that in particular?
I was very, very hurt. I was very angry. And I remember like when I made like the decision, I was like hysterically crying on the phone with my attorney. That was not the person I should have been on the phone with when, like, that's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, I was hysterically crying. And I was not in any position to make that decision. I was extremely emotionally intoxicated. We can be intoxicated with our emotions. The truth about the matter is that if I had different people in my ear at that time, I would not have made that decision. No.
Wow.
I wouldn't. And that's the truth. I tried my very best at this point in my life to be what I didn't have in that moment. Because I think that I was, women were like, I'm an extremely emotional person. People that know me know that about me. I'm the kind of person that like, okay, I feel so strong, and I can ruminate. I can get so lost in my thoughts. I know a lot of women are like that. Like we're a lot, not all of us, right? But some of us are. Just like a lot of men can be like that. But I know women specifically, there will be moments where they'll be like, I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be done. I can't stand this. He don't do this. He don't do that. Blah, blah.
How many of y'all was like that? I'm ready to be done. Remember what the divorce attorney said? A lot of women are already thinking about divorce before they even go through with it, right? How many women are like that? How many women do you know were like that? Or let me know if you was like that when you was married. I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be. You're already speaking it into existence. Already speaking it into existence. You consume so much time thinking about what you're not getting and not enough time thinking about what you're not giving. Right? Bars.
No captivity.
Lo and behold, when everything is said and done and you sign on the dotted line and you're back out there in the jungle, welcome to the jungle. Wait, let me tell you something. When these women go back out there in the world and they start meeting these nice looking dudes, right? Like y'all think they is. And let's be honest, a lot of these men nowadays, cause we always talking about these modern day women, these modern women. Listen, I don't know if y'all know if this is an actual thing, but guess what? There's a such thing as a modern day man too. Yes, it is.
I'm at the
There's a such thing as a modern day man. I'm gonna tell you what a modern day man is. Back in the day, a lot of times men looked at that, they really didn't spend a lot of time trying to be pretty. It was some dudes that was trying to be pretty back then. They call them pretty boys. But everybody and they daddy trying to be a pretty boy now. I'm talking about, listen. They get manicures, pedicures, they arching it out. They doing the same things that women are doing. And it's a norm. Right? When you go out on dates, men are spending just as much time in the bathroom as the women. When you go back out there in dating land, in the jungle, you don't know what you're going to get. Now, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing for a man to get a pedicure or manicure. I'm not saying that, right? Maybe I need to start getting the mugs, right? I don't know. Let me see what y'all think. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that you don't know. Homosexuality is so accepted now on a way larger scale. We talked about the percentage with the percentage difference from the baby boomers all the way versus the generation now, which is Generation Z. The percentage has increased astronomically. Within homosexuality, it done went from 0.2% to damn near almost 25% now. Homosexuality A lot of men are embracing their bisexual side, right? The down low culture is at an all-time high. You don't know what you're going to get. And these guys don't look, there's no homosexual look. And I'm not saying that some women don't actually care about that. Some women probably don't care, you know, which way he float, right? As long as he loved them. But for the women that do, you just don't know. My wife leave me. She knows she left 100% heterosexual man at the very least. She ain't got to worry about if Freezy like a man, looking at a man, attracted to a man. She know that, right? At the very least. And I'm not saying people in the homosexual community are bad. I'm just saying if you don't want that, if that's not your preference, how do you know? I'm telling you, you women, you need to try your best to work it out with a man, especially if you feel like this man, you know, he ain't that bad. And I know, you know, I did some things that contributed to the dysfunction of this relationship. Tell the truth. That's what Tyrese's wife doing now. That's what the other lady did. The black woman that said she moved up in the corporate ladder and she started making all this money. She got divorced and now she telling the truth. Don't tell the truth after you get a divorce. Tell the truth within your marriage before you get a divorce. Tell the truth then. You feel what I'm saying?
Super chat.
Shout out to Big Dave, man, with the $2 ball. He said, some of these ladies are the serpent, not Eve.
No Cap-tivity.
Shout out to Big Dave with this $2 super cap. Shout out to Next Level.
Super chat.
With a $2 super cap. He said, a modern man is worse than a modern woman. That's a fact, bro.
No Cap-tivity.
Let me read that again. A modern man is worse than a modern woman. We don't talk about the modern men, though. Modern men are worse than modern women. We always want to talk about these women. We always want to talk about the modern women. What about these modern men?
This one here for the thug.
Super chat.
Shout out to Next Level again with the $2 super cap. He said men aren't menin.
No Cap-tivity.
Men ain't menin like they used to. Men ain't menin. No more. We might need to make that as a damn t-shirt. Next Level. I give you a call. Shout out to Next Level with the $2 super cap. My goal tonight is to make this video replayable over and over again. I want y'all, if you're on the cusp of, you know, breaking up your marriage, breaking up your household, or even breaking up a committed relationship that was on the verge of marriage, right? My goal is to make you rethink that tonight and to reevaluate your possible life-changing decision, especially if there's kids involved. Freezy gonna keep it real. We're gonna have more discussions on this. I'm about to open up the call lines. I want y'all to tell me some of y'all experiences and let's talk about it. Maybe I could give you some advice. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. Ask me any question you want to ask me. It don't matter. This last video I'm going to play is very, 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 very meaningful. I want y'all to listen to this woman and what this lady had to say. Shout out to Drelly in the building.
No Cap-tivity.
Listen to what this woman had to say. I'm gonna have to play this one here 2 times.
This lady is going viral for actually admitting that she divorced the love of her life for one reason, because she wanted more money.
I've been divorced before. You know, my first marriage, we made all of the mistakes. Unfortunately, he passed away.
So why did you guys get a divorce?
Because I really wanted something different. It's very unfortunate because he was the most loving, kind person. I had all the love and support that I could have ever wanted. But I think I went through a period wanting money. Like I wanted to be with someone and be at a different level. And I saw him work all of the time. It's one thing to like work and work and work from like 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night, day in, day out, and still have no resources. And for me to work, do the same, and just want a different life.
So, long story short, you wanted a different life and lifestyle than he was able to provide. And so you said, you know what, this, I'm out of here. I need more money.
I was selfish and took advantage of a real unfortunate situation, which was he loved me and David unconditionally. Every time we saw each other, like you knew that was your soulmate, right?
Wow, so he was your soulmate. He just loved you.
He really did.
And you broke his heart. Oh, don't cry, Tim.
Shout out to Dr. Nakambi in the building, man.
No Cap-tivity.
I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. When I seen that one there got me a little bit, because that's like real life. Like that ain't no celebrity shit. These are real people. She left her husband because she wanted more. And she admitted that he worked his hands to the bone. The man was working around the clock from 4 a.m. to damn near 9 at night, 10 at night, some shit like that. She said that it still wasn't enough. She was looking for a certain lifestyle that he wasn't able to give. He was working his fingers to the bone. She said she was working too. And she just decided to leave. Remember I told y'all women are contemplating divorce months before they even actually go through with it. They're already thinking about, they're already thinking to themselves, this might not be for me. This woman, right? This woman was already contemplating divorce probably like years in advance, couple years in advance. And she finally did it because she kept probably talking to her friends, trying to get them to validate, that bullshit she was telling them. And then she probably was playing mental mind games with herself, saying that I'm better than this. Let's go back to the bad bitch syndrome. I'm a bad bitch. I need more than this. Even though my husband is working his fingers to the bone, even though my husband is working from 4 a.m. to 10 o'clock at night every day, and even though he's still not able to buy me the Bentley that I want, it ain't good enough.
No Cap-tivity.
Do y'all know how often this happens? When she left this man, this dude was so heartbroken, he died. Do y'all know you can be so heartbroken, you can actually die of sorrow? Did y'all know that? And what ended up happening? She thought, she probably was talking. I'm gonna tell y'all exactly what happened. This, what she probably is leaving out. She probably, more than likely, she had been contemplating leaving her husband. But what actually helped her leave and what actually probably pushed her over the edge of leaving her husband, she probably met a man who was more established financially. She probably, I'm not going to say she was having sex with him, right? But I'm just saying she probably met somebody who felt like could promise her more things in life and, you know, promise her a better life, the life that she always wanted to live. And when she left her husband, the one that was working from 4 a.m. to 10 at night every day for her, for the man she thought she was going to have a better life with, she found out that the next man wasn't shit. Probably was in the closet. I don't know. But she found out that this next man, even though he probably made more money than her husband, he didn't love her unconditionally like her husband did.
No captivity.
And let me tell y'all something. You can't buy that. That's priceless. And she soon realized that. This dude passed away after she left him, and there's nothing she could do about it.
This lady is going viral for actually admitting that she divorced the love of her life for one reason, because she wanted more money.
I've been divorced before. You know, my first marriage, we made all of the mistakes. Unfortunately, he passed away.
So why did you guys get a divorce?
Because I really wanted something different. It's very unfortunate because he was the most loving, kind person. I had all the love and support.
The most loving, kind person. She had all the love and support. Worked his fingers to the bone. Just didn't make enough money. He just didn't make enough money. How often do we see that, y'all? I mean, let's just be honest, man.
That I could have ever wanted. But I think I went through a period wanting money. Like I wanted to be with someone and be at a different level.
Y'all need to stop watching these reality shows. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Real Housewives of Pontiac, whatever that shit called. Basketball Wives. Y'all need to stop watching that bullshit. Because it's conditioning y'all to think in a way that's not real life. Those homes that a lot of these people are living in, these people are renting these homes. I'm not saying some of these homes aren't real. Yeah, that's true, but I'm telling y'all, listen. If you got a man like this woman say she had, you will be a damn fool to leave this man. Cause this man will kill for you.
And I saw him work all of the time. It's one thing to like work and work and work from like 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night, day in, day out, and still have no resources. And for me to work.
Well, what does she consider resources? Because if he was working his fingers to the bone day in and day out, I'm pretty sure they had lights, food, clothes, cars. What other resources is she talking about? That's what I want to know.
Do the same and just want a different life.
So, long story short, you wanted a different life and lifestyle than he was able to provide. And so you said, you know what, this, I'm out of here. I need more money.
I was selfish.
Don't it all ways start making sense in the end? Don't it always come to you in the end? Don't it all just, it just, everything start coming together and start making sense out of nowhere, don't it? In the end.
And took advantage of a real unfortunate situation, which was he loved me and David unconditionally. Every time we saw each other, like you knew that was your soulmate, right? I mean,
Wow, so he was your soulmate? He just loved you.
he really did.
And you broke his heart. Oh, don't cry, Tim.
Super chat. Shout out to David Simpson. With the $2 super cap, he said, broken heart syndrome is real. Rest in power, man.
No Cap-tivity.
That's a fact. I know y'all don't believe it is, but it really is. I'm gonna put the link in the chat just in case somebody want to call in and just give a, give a testament or just give some advice. Give some advice, from your experience, if you're divorced already or if you're in a marriage, right? We're all together. We're a family over here. Let me see. Let me pin it to the top of the chat too. I pinned it to the top of the chat. Anybody can call in. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the videos that we're seeing tonight. Let's talk about if you had regrets. Let's talk, let's tell me if you were on the verge of getting a divorce, but you saved your marriage. Tell us how you saved your marriage. If you're in the dating world and you need some advice, right? Call in. I'll help you out. If you're having problems in your relationship, if you're getting disrespected, if you don't know how, if you've been trying to get it right, but you just don't know how, you need some advice from a friend, right? Call in. Your brother Freezy right here. I never get tired of playing this damn video, y'all. This video right here.
Thank you. Muchas gracias.
They know.
Ooh. Ooh. 3 pancakes? Let's get it. Thank you. Ooh. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was waiting on this one, ain't it? Cap.
No Cap-tivity.
Isn't it a never-ending cycle? A lot of the problems that we run into, right? We seen our parents go through it. Whether you know it or not, you're mimicking your mom. You might be mimicking your dad. It's a residual effect. How do we break the cycle? Son, how you doing, bro?
How you doing, Freezy? What's good?
What's going on, man?
Doing great. How you doing?
You got an echo for some reason. I don't know why.
What about now? Can you hear me now?
No, I'm talking about when I talk. There's an echo.
Now you're good. On my side, you're good.
No.
No.
When I talk, we hear an echo.
I talk, we hear an echo.
The audience.
The audience.
Oh, my bad. Hold on. Let me hang up and call again.
Okay. Hello?
Hello?
What about now, Crazy?
No, there's still an echo.
No, there's still an echo. I don't-
What are you calling on?
What are you
Are
calling
you calling on a
on?
phone,
Are you
or
calling on a
tablet,
phone,
or
or
computer?
tablet, or computer?
No, I'm calling my tablet.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a very
there's
bad
a
echo. I don't know if you need to cut the volume down or put your headphones in.
Put the headphones in.
You definitely need to put some headphones
Definitely
in.
need to put the headphones in.
Try and talk now. I can't hear you. Now your microphone isn't working. And there's still an echo. Try to call in from a different device. But yeah, listen, guys. Anybody can call in. Anybody can call in. A lot of the mistakes that I made, right? A lot of the mistakes that I made before I got married, it was because I really wasn't disciplined. I found discipline through the Bible. That's why I read a lot of scriptures, right? Through following law, statutes, and commandments. Now, I know that's not for everybody, right? And everybody's not going to believe that. But what the point I'm trying to make is that I've grown to understand and learn that the only way you can have a successful marriage is through discipline.
Hello, can you hear me now, please?
Yeah, I can hear you now. That's much better.
How you doing, bro?
I'm fine. So I know, listen, we know you're a virgin, but have you been in a relationship? Have you talked to women before without having sex?
Yeah.
Are you in a relationship right now?
No, not yet.
So why aren't you with your last girlfriend?
Well, she wasn't my girlfriend. We're just talking. Hopefully it gets serious, but it didn't work out, you know. She wasn't religious yet, you know. So I said, no, it's not going to work. So staying with my culture, my people, be a lot easier, you know. They understand. I try to date a different race, but that never works usually. So it's better just staying with my race, so it'll be easier to understand and communicate, you know. Less headache.
What race of woman did you date?
Well, I didn't date. You can call them.
Well, I'm saying, what race of woman were you talking to?
Some white, Hispanic, some black, one or two.
Who was the worst one?
The Hispanic and the black one. And sometimes...
No, tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Even the white one, too. The white one's more worse. The black one's more loud. And the Hispanic is similar to the black one. Loud and nosy. But for me, the white one more worse out of them all.
The white one was worse. Why would you say the white one was worse?
For me, it's just because let me put it like this: the Hispanic and the black, I can like relate to them, you know, even though they're from the hood or whatever. Like I can relate to their jokes. I can relate to their, living. The white lady is like looking down because she's from how you say upper class, environment. Like, yeah, just the environment was bad. The jokes, we can relate. relate on, even when we're joking around. It was awkward as hell.
So how long what was the longest you talked to one of them?
3 weeks. And that's it.
Which one was that? 3 weeks? That was very short. Which one was that?
The white, no wait, the Hispanic one.
You talked to her for 3 weeks.
Yeah. No, because the others is their attitude. That's why I said I can't deal with this. The attitude was bad. That's why.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's always a relationship killer. Bad attitude is just, it never fails. It's eventually going to end the relationship.
Yeah, because for me, I knew, that's a bad sign. It's better to stop talking and move on.
Let me ask you something. Being that you're a virgin, are you willing to marry a woman that's already had sex?
Only if she was married before, not like boyfriend, girlfriend. Like if she was like an ex-wife.
If she was an ex-wife?
Yeah, not like a boyfriend, girlfriend, none of that garbage.
Okay.
If she was an ex-wife,
what's the difference?
Because where I come from, there is no girlfriend, boyfriend. It's only you're engaged or you're married. You see what I'm saying? The girlfriend, that's like a Western thing over here.
So you think the woman that was married before is more respectable? That's what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah, like the one had a ring and she went to the ceremony or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, that's more respectable way, Because a girlfriend is more like, she's like, like a hoe. They look at her. No one respects that. So when you go to my country and you tell them girlfriend, they look at you like, what is that? What are you talking about? They look at you crazy.
Oh, okay. They don't play that over there. The girlfriend, boyfriend stuff. They don't do that.
Oh no. No, if you're gonna sneak around, just make sure no one catches you. Just do it under the ground type of stuff.
Okay.
Well, it's mostly engagement or marriage.
All right, do it in the basement of the church.
Super chat.
Shout out to Dave, Big Dave again with the $5 super cap. He said it's hard out here for a simp when you gotta pay her and make that rent. It's hard out here for a simp when you gotta pay her and the rent.
No Cap-tivity.
Movie, Freezy. I like that movie.
Yeah. That was a classic. Shout out to Big Dave, man. I think that relationships are getting harder and harder to maintain. People's psychology is getting more and more different every day. Moral values and religious values are being so convoluted, and even like the modern day church is changing. You really don't have to stand by anything anymore, As long as you look the part, play the part, act the part. And to be honest, it's been like that for a long time, even since when I was a little kid. All you had to do was act like you catching the Holy Ghost, and you were one of the good people.
No Cap-tivity.
How do you know if you got a real one on your hands? How do you know if you got a real partner with you? How do you know if you got a solid husband or a solid wife?
Is that a question for me, Freezy?
No, I'm just talking. I'm just saying, like...
Well, Well, what I come from usually is the father and the mother gets involved. Like the father, like let's say this guy wants to marry your daughter. You be around him. What does he work?
Mm-hmm.
Are people talking good about him? Is he a
Mm-hmm.
troublemaker? What's his education? Like, the word spreads around the neighborhood. And the
Mm-hmm.
mother goes to houses and talk to the other women about this guy or this girl. So that way you get better information on the person before you go fully, okay, this guy's a good person. He's a hard worker. He's he got street smart. He got book smart. So usually the parents get involved to see if this guy is really what he say he is, not just, oh, I love you and he's pretty and then we've been together 2 years. That doesn't work over there. Usually the parents get more.
If mothers and fathers were involved in their children's selection of who they're going to marry, there would be more successful marriages. But the problem is the mother and father, they're at the same clubs that the son and the daughter are at.
No Cap-tivity.
They're at the same clubs where they playing Glorilla and the City Girls. That's why I said, man, things are so lost now, right?
Yeah.
And we seen from the last video, I'm gonna tell you why I'm so serious about this subject is because that last video that we seen, that guy had made up in his mind that he was going to take care of his wife. He had a picture of his marriage in his head for the rest of his life. That he was going to work hard. He was going to work his fingers to the bone. I'm pretty sure a man that works that hard isn't just working that hard to stay stagnated where he is. Most of the time when a man works that hard, he's working that hard to improve his situation for not only himself, but for his wife and kids. He's working that hard. He probably was saving money. The part of the story that the woman didn't tell was that, yeah, her lifestyle didn't get better, as far as like better designer clothes or nicer car. Probably when a man is working that hard, most of the time when the man is that responsible, he's frugal. He's saving money. He's putting money away. He's saving money, possibly to build a business, to own a business, right? If a man is working hard around the clock and he hasn't changed his lifestyle and the wife hasn't seen a drastic change in her lifestyle, 9 times out of 10, that man is responsible enough to save most of the money for either a rainy day or to actually build a business. We ain't signing. What's going on? We got you on the line, bro. What you got to say?
Well, I just want to make a comment on the video, if that's okay.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so in the scripture, it talks about do not give all your strength to a woman because she destroys kings, right?
Facts.
So when we talk about the last video, we got to make sure, we got to look at it from like both perspectives. Yeah, she chose to give up on a good guy, a great guy, and broke his heart. But on the other hand, we're commissioned to love our spouses, but we're not commissioned to worship our spouses. And I think a lot of times, we are looking and worship and love so much because we didn't get it in our childhood years, right? We didn't get it as adolescents, especially as kids of single parents, because the parent is working 2-3 jobs. Sometimes you only see them for like 1 or 2 hours a day between you going to school and they having 2.5 jobs. Because back in the day, in the 90s and early 2000s, before YouTube, you can't make money online, right? You have to pound the pavement. So, you know what I mean? You don't get that affection growing up as a child. So you make it in your mind, like, you know, we all have said that, you know, we're going to do better than our parents. We're going to do better than our parents. We're going to do better for our kids, right? So you have that in your mind and you start worshiping that, right? And we kind of forget that people are people, right? And, you know, she made a mistake. She's human. But at the end of the day, you know, he ended up dying from a broken heart, I guess. But at the end of the day, you know, we got to put things in moderation. And for the video about Joe, you know, at the end of the day, man, you look, man, you married a woman who is a professional sex worker. Like, literally, she fills out her W-2 forms, tax returns on that. So I don't know what you expect to get from that than what you got.
I think Joe married that woman because he wanted to believe that someone actually loved him unconditionally, and he probably felt so insecure that he spent a lot of his portfolio, and that this woman was willing to you know, step in and support him and the household and give money, extra money, and accept him for who he was. And I mean, let's just face it, she was a corn star. He accepted her, and he was damn near broke. She accepted him. Both of them was just, it was just trauma bonding.
No, he still, from the videos that I saw, he was in his last year of the NBA when they met. You know, in the NBA,
he still had money.
Yeah, $60 million. And she said, she was like, I came with this guy because I thought he was going to take me up and up, right?
Okay.
So from her perspective, right, she got with him because she was looking for the better life, and she said it to him.
What happened?
Right?
So he was trying to impress her. That's what you're saying. He spent a lot of money trying to impress her.
Yeah, and then so as the money dried up, I mean, he still, what the NBA has, like the pension plan thing, so you still get, what, 115, 200K a year. So he ain't broke, but he's not a millionaire, I'm guessing. So, but in her mind, she was like, I didn't date you for average. I dated you for the fame and all that, right? Because, I mean, he was the #1 draft pick back in the 90s. $60 million, man. Right? So that's what she signed up for. That's what she signed up for. And so now people hating on your wife and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, man, that's his fault. He put himself in that situation. Right? We always talk about accountability. I mean, bro, you legitimately married a sex worker.
He knew she was a sex worker. He knew she was a corn star. I'm trying to figure out.
54 movies, Freezy. 54.
54?
Yes.
Wow.
54 movies.
Cap-tivity.
Yeah, he should knew better than.
Yeah, I mean, bro. 54. Like legit movies.
What do you think is the mentality of a guy that actually knowingly going into a relationship with a woman that did all of those corn movies and still chose to entertain her? Seriously. What do you think is, I mean, let's try to break this down. He was on his last year of NBA. At one point in time, he was worth $60 million. Why did he go for her? The only thing I could think of is that she was so catering. She catered to him more than the average woman caters to a man. She was willing to do anything. And let's not, I think a lot of women underestimate this, right? She was a freak. She was a trained freak. And she was at his every beck and call. Whatever he needed her to do, she was gonna do it. In the bedroom, she probably can cook. She probably can cook her ass off.
I would just say this. I mean, we in the black community as black men, right? We're trained to put women at the top, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so Freezy, you can be a CEO of Amazon, right?
Right.
If I'm getting more women than you, then I'm considered the better man. So at the end of the day, if you can tame a sex worker, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's hyper masculine in the black community, which is ridiculous, right? Because at the end of the day, women are the end all be all in the black community.
If you're getting more women than the average man, even women attach value to that, because now they're trying to see it must be a reason. Now they're rationalizing that there must be a reason why all of these women are drawn to this one man.
Yeah, in the black community for sure, right? The more women you can get, the more alpha you are in the black community.
But what does that speak to, though? That speaks to we love attention. The more attention we get, the more validation we get. That's what happened with that woman who left her husband heartbroken. She felt like when they stepped out, when they went on dates, when they went to the grocery store, they weren't getting enough attention. They probably drive an average car, average SUV. The house was average. She wanted to get attention. She felt like she wasn't getting validated enough.
Yeah, that's true.
Modern women want to be validated, not just by their husbands, but by outside men as well. Let's look at Steph Curry and his wife, Aisha Curry. Mm-hmm. She at one point in time, we looked at her as the poster child for, as the poster wife. You know what I'm saying? Even she wanted validation from other men. She confessed to Jada Pinkett Smith. What you got to say about that?
Well, I mean, there's a study out of UCLA that talks about why women divorce. And the number one reason why they divorce is just simply because they're bored, right? Marriage. You
say they're bored?
Bored, yeah. The number one reason why women actually really leave a relationship, marriage, whatever, is because of boredom, right? So that guy who was working his fingers to the bone, he provided a stable life, and for women, that boring, they gotta go. Modern women gotta go. Same thing with Aisha, right? She was like, well, two things. One, she was jealous because Steph got way more attention than she did because she wanted to be a movie actress back in the day when they were kids growing up, right? So she was jealous of that. She was saying like, hey, he gets way more attention than
Do you think that's think that's a normal thing? Do you think wives on average can eventually get jealous of their husbands at one point? You think that's a real thing?
I think in the black community, yes, because in the black community, we're told that black women are the backbone of the community, right? They're the most educated. They're the most people with the most businesses. They're the most this. They're the most that, right? So if a black woman, a black American woman, is with an African American man that's doing much better than her, I think that's a hard pill for her to swallow.
Well, the reason
with a white man, it'd be cool, right? But for her to be with a black man, it's hard.
Well, the reason why I asked is, if a black woman made more than her man, it's more believable that the man would develop a sense of jealousy or envy for the woman because, his ego would be crushed. Most men would not be comfortable being in a marriage where their wife makes substantially more than them, right? We could see a man's pride playing a part in that, but I don't understand why if a man made more money, got more attention than his wife, and was just super successful, why would a woman be jealous of that when she actually has him? She has him in her possession. Why would she eventually develop jealousy and envy for her husband? That's crazy.
Crazy. That can happen with all races, though. The man can be jealous of his wife, and the wife can be also jealous of her husband. It's not just a black.
But it's more believable for a man to be jealous of his wife if she makes more money than him. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah. Normally, yes. If the man makes less than his money, it's an ego thing. Yes, normally. But in the black community, that's not the case, bro. That's just not the case. They're on TV all the time talking about how black women run laps around black men, how black women can't find enough marriageable men, right? In society today, it is understood that black women have surpassed black men in education and finances. That is the narrative in America today. So when I've dated black women who felt less than, who was jealous because I run circles around them, right? As far as our backgrounds go, right? That's why a lot of black women date. That's why a lot of black women date dudes who are below them. Most of the time, when you hear a black woman dating,
that's a
right,
fact.
She's dating a guy below him. Why? It's because the narrative in America is that black women run circles around black men. So when a black woman is dating a black man, unless athletes don't count, but a normal dude, normal 9-to-5 dude, she's going to be jealous.
Well, she feels comfortable, right?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, black women are supposed to be the head of the family. Where black community is a matriarchy, not a patriarchy.
But
and athletes and movie stars don't count, right? Because that's different. But the average 9-to-5 everyday people, right?
Let's look at it.
If they're making the same, she's cool. If she's making a little bit more, she's cool. But if he's making much more, she's not cool.
Let's look at this. Let's evaluate this situation. If a woman makes more than the man,
right?
A lot of times, women do go into relationships like that because they don't have to worry about a power struggle.
Right.
They don't have to worry about, being I guess I'm trying to find the right word. They don't have to worry about being overthrown by the man's position or whatever in society or whatnot, right? Women like, what I've noticed about women, they like a certain level of control, a certain sense of control within their relationship. They don't like to feel like, they
like nobody's gonna run them. Nobody's gonna run them.
Exactly. Right? And so,
because look, 60%, 70% of us are born out of wedlock. The majority of those kids are born to where the mom was making more or doing better than a dude she got pregnant by. And that is facts. That is statistical facts.
Could you repeat that one more time?
So 60 to 70% of black children are born out of wedlock. The overwhelming majority of those children who were born, their fathers were less educated and made less money than the woman that they got pregnant by.
Really?
And you can look that up in the CDC.
No Cap-tivity.
Let's talk about cheating. Now, I don't think no man up here condones cheating, right? We don't, but I want to talk about it. when men go into relationships, even from your experience, we ain't signing. Does the sex increase in a committed relationship, possibly a marriage, or does it decrease in your experience?
I would obviously, I think it decreases, right? Because I could just say from a man perspective, and I'll just be honest, like, it gets a little bit mundane. Life gets in the way. Also, just life gets in the way, and I guess if you have children and stuff like that, there's going to be other priorities at times that's going to take you away from your partner. So I would probably say, well, I mean, we know because there's a lot of people in sexist marriages, right? So, but that's not like, I don't condone cheating in any shape or form.
Right.
If you cheat, it's just better to just leave and then go be with the person you want to be with.
Mhm.
Like, I don't think there's anything I can do to make her cheat, and I don't think there's anything she can do to make me cheat. I think cheating is a character issue, right? Because if I'm really unhappy and
That's a great statement. Cheating is a character issue. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, because if I find someone that I want to be with, I don't want to be with her, then let me just be a decent human being and just say, hey, I'm not happy here, and let's just move on.
Now, a man that cheats because he's not getting sex at home,
yeah,
would you empathize with him?
No, because like I said, it's a character issue, man. We made vows, and we got to keep our word, right? You got, like, as adults, right? A person who's trustworthy and a reliable person, not man, not woman. A trustworthy person is a person that can keep their word. So at the end of the day, if he's not getting sex and he's not happy, just leave.
Let me shout out to Dr. Nakumbi for joining us. Dr. Nakumbi, we know that, can you hear me, Dr. Nakumbi? I want to make sure the audio is right.
I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We know infidelity is very big in these modern day relationships, even marriage. And I will go out on a limb and say that a lot of men that end up stepping out on their wives aren't bad men per se. Me and Hot Sauce, we just were conversating about the dynamics of cheating, and when men and women get married, for some reason, the sexual activity starts diminishing for some reason. Men tend to keep the same sexual appetite, and if they're not getting it from their wife, and let's just go ahead and add on top of that disrespect as well. If they're getting disrespected and the sex is starting to diminish, could you empathize with a man in his marriage for going out and getting sexual pleasure from another woman that's more inviting and treating him more desirably?
Good question. She's gonna get cheated on eventually too. The one that's more desirable. But right. let me say, from the perspective that I'm coming from, and this is what 20 years of working with couples. And so it might not qualify. Every couple might not qualify. So the couples I've been working with, and over the years, times have changed. What you do has changed, but it's before marriage. And so when I hear the question, but I hear the word marriage tied to it.
Yeah.
You could be in just a regular relationship and get tired, but there are some things to consider. Again, not every couple has this issue, but well before the marriage, what was his sexual appetite? And when we think about sex, what is the purpose of sex other than reproduction? What is the purpose of sex? Feel good. And at the root of feel good is what? Intimacy, connection, touch, communication, a form or a sense of perceived sense of belonging. So if you look at all of those aspects, you look at all the pieces that equal sex. Like if you said these words, you would say, "Oh, you mean sex." But when you reverse it and just say sex, then a lot of people don't think about all the other things that go with it. So if I have a low intimacy tank, like imagine I have a hole on the side of me and intimacy just pours out. You can pour into me all you want. You could bring me 10 meals a day or 10 meals a week, a month or whatever. But if I feel empty inside, then it's never really enough. It's never really enough. And that happens way, way, way before marriage. Now, it doesn't have to be from trauma. That's, kind of the buzzword, but there was something that triggered this thing where there's not enough intimacy. So the married couple, if she was doing corn activities before the marriage, was it for work? And I work with a lot of street workers who find pleasure in their work, not just from the actual activity, but from all the customers they have where they actually have conversation, where they actually have these companion-like connections. And they feel like they have a sense of purpose in addition to the sexual behavior. So then she stopped for a while. They get married. But was her desire for intimacy, did that ever change? If she's asking for more time, for more this, and she's saying, you're not giving me enough, well, then the sexual stuff kicks in because that actually feeds the brain. That's a dopamine rush. So a lot of times it looks like sex has dropped off. But here's the challenge. Did the man's appetite, did he talk about his addiction to corn ever before the marriage? Because it starts out strong, but people's addictions is what reduces the drive. Did she all of a sudden really stop? Or, hold on, before I get too rambled up here. There's a question I usually ask. Is the Incredible Hulk the Hulk always? And they work real hard to be Bruce Banner, or are they Bruce Banner and they work real hard not to be the Hulk? And how that relates to your question or this conversation. Is the person sexually driven always, but they work hard to maintain, to seem normal or whatever? Or technically, they can't stand sex, the touch, the whatever that all comes with it, but they play along to entertain.
I think most men are sexually driven always, and they work hard to try to suppress it or discipline themselves.
All right. Now, most of the men I know, that worked with for sure, they're not that sexually driven, but
really,
like because of the responsibility that comes with it. I mean, the engagement of sex, universally sex. So that involves you pleasure me, I pleasure you, we pleasure each other. Many men get lazy. It starts with pleasuring each other.
Well, what I mean by sexually driven is they want a nut.
Right. But is that sex with your partner? Is that sex with your wife? And at some point, she starts to feel like, wow, we went from a good 45 minutes, an hour or so, and now we just go down to a 5-minute jerk, or just put my mouth on it and then boom. It's like, where's the investment? And so, or remember, if she was never really driven, if she had some past experiences where really technically she doesn't like to be touched, but she bears through it, that would start to show up in the marriage as well. And then he feels, boom. Now, do you work through that, or do you cheat through sickness and in health? So if she has a sickness, if they had a child and she has depression after and just not in the mood many times, do you just automatically cheat, or do you work through that? Do you create an agreement together? Not saying he can't have anything. What happens when it's reversed? He has no access to blue pills when she wants something. And so what's the agreement? Do I buy toys, or do I say I totally understand you need your needs met, and I'm down as long as you don't, or as long as we follow, as long as we blah 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 blah. I'll yield there just to give some other people some time.
I think that the biggest blue pill for a man is the woman. right?
No captivity.
I think the lost art is, and what we went away from is that women traditionally throughout antiquity were the motivators of men having sex. When men look at women and they see a woman that's maintaining her sexy, she's looking a certain way, men are automatically attracted to that. And I think in marriages, women get so complacent, they feel like they have their man. They feel like they don't have to work as hard anymore. They feel like they don't have to be attractive anymore. Some women even go as far as they start gaining extra weight. I think that the first blue pill that men ever had, the first thing that men ever had to make them aroused were women, not something synthetic.
Right. Well, it actually goes both ways.
Can I say something really quickly?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say that, I think there's a couple things at play. So when we're talking about, I guess from the guy's perspective, or sexual, because I do agree with the doctor, right? You got to make sure you got to have those understandings, like what's your sexual appetite with their sexual appetite. What I disagree with doctor is about if she's in sex work. I don't think there's a conversation to need to be had. You don't deal with those people. But that's just my personal opinion.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I said I agree. I mean, I hear you. It makes sense. Yes.
Yeah. But when it comes down to like attraction and things like that, and blue pills, but not like back in the day in ancient times, right? Men had multiple women, right? I just think it's hard at the end of the day for 30 years to be with the same person 30 years sexually. It's going to change, because that's a hard task to do, man. 30 years with the same person on both sides. It's going to be hard for her to deal with. And I don't know about that, but for men, because a little different women is exciting. Let's keep it 100.
Well, but what about different women? What about it? Because if it's just a vagina,
this is a great conversation.
A vagina is a vagina. So what about it?
No, sir. I have to disagree. You got short, tight women with like nice hip to butt ratio. Then you got the tall women with the long legs.
Right. That part. Yes. You're correct. It's different shapes and sizes. But what I mean is, the package of sex involves what? See, when we talk about women gaining weight and becoming disinterested, are the men pouring that intimacy into them? Like, there's the physical act of sex, and I think when I say that, then a vagina is a vagina. When we start thinking of the possibilities of what we can do and the variety, then yes, I'm thinking about other things we can do, and if you're not doing it, I want to do it. But where do we get that from? If you reduced all the social media, if you reduced the amount of corn that we received, would I actually be so? And then how come I can't ask or talk about that and we try some different things? Like, do we have to do a threesome? But where did I get that in my mind that I would even want to share? Where would I even get that in my mind?
Sex is to me, sex is more psychological than it is physical. Right?
Right. So that's my point. So if you think about what sex means to you, like what is the idea, what is the purpose, what is the goal, what do you want to do? Then because that's part of the reason of watching porn. There's things in my imagination that I would love to do, but I wouldn't do that with my partner.
Yeah, so I don't know if introducing porn into the conversation though.
Oh, it doesn't have to be that. My apologies. Anything that's a fantasy, any visual that we have that we would want to do with our partner or someone else. So especially if we're talking marriage, because the marriage says I should actually have on horse blinders. When it comes to my wife or partner, it should be blind, like horse blinders on, to where she's the only one and we create the type of creativity. But one of the challenges that I have for it, And again, this is something to think about. It won't match every person. People can date a worker or a person who wants multiple, but that's a personal thing. Give you an example, because the work that I do, in my mind, first of all, everyone, especially more and more, they don't get their needs met. But my last girlfriend, I knew she had been messed with as a child multiple times by a family member. So because of the work that I do, I know in her brain is hardwired, someone that you trust is the same person who's going to betray you. So no matter how much I was going to be good to her in a relationship, there's always a piece of her that's going to feel betrayed, assume that she's going to be betrayed. And then on top of that, I knew her sex drive was like a person on meth, super high. We agreed right from the beginning. And it was weird for her because she's like, why would you accept that? Listen, because of what I do, I don't want to BS. Do you not touch yourself every day? I just want to know, do you? Well, yeah. Mm-hmm. So since we already know that up front, let's have the conversation. And our success in the relationship was because I understood that up front. Do we understand people's, not only their appetite, but the reason behind it? And it may not sound significant, but many of the men who've been doing whatever with their fantasies, and they feel restricted with their partner, and only to find out, you could have done that with me. You should have just talked to me. Hell, I might have liked her too. What? Yeah, man, I think she is pretty. Why didn't you say something? You would have done? Yeah, what? So they don't talk because they feel like it's taboo, it's wrong. Now listen to Hassan. I think the people that come from a culture of, we do not engage in this until we get married. That's easier. It's a little bit more pure in a sense. But if those persons were messed with as a child or a teenager, and they have those what's called early activation in their brain, then you will find the more sexual activeness in their brain has nothing to do with the marriage, nothing to do with their current partner. It is a brain activity thing, psychological. And I'll land my plane with this. If you can't stomach that, and you go into the relationship with expectations that the person's only going to do you, only do you, then how can we also expect them to understand that we may have appetites that go beyond them? So do we only have a one penis policy that, you have to know I'm a man and I'm a fantasizing one others, but you can only think about me? I'll yield there.
Well, I think that when you get married, you should be prepared to condition your mind within the confines of your marriage, right? Marriage is for it's for people who are willing to operate within a certain covenant.
Mm-hmm. Have discipline.
Right. It's for disciplined people. That's why I said that at the beginning of the show. Let me read this super chat. Shout out to Big Dave with a $2 super cap. He said, long-term relationships last because sex is not the thing that bonds them.
No captivity.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, Big Dave. I totally agree with that. If sex bonds you, you're gonna be in trouble. I'm just telling you that right now. You're gonna be in trouble. But
can I ask the doctor a question? Is that's okay?
Go ahead. You
okay. Yeah.
Ask him anything, y'all. This is a free fall discussion. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just want to know, so I guess if you can answer me in a yes or no, because that's how my mind operates. For me, I don't really care about the whys.
Okay.
Is cheating? Should we have sympathy for the cheater in a marriage?
No.
Okay. I agree with that as well, right? I agree it's a character issue. Is just leave. Just leave. If you can't.
Well, no, see, but you just moved the goalpost. You asked, should we have sympathy, but then you added a clause to it. So
no, how so? Because I agree with you.
I was going to ask the doc to explain that too.
Yeah. How so?
Well, because he has a choice. Or I said he. whoever is the cheater, they have a choice.
Right, he or she.
So there's so I don't have any of these soft emotions and oh no, ooh, and no. You had a choice, you chose, you didn't communicate about it, you chose, boom.
Yeah. So, but how did I move the goalposts? Because I'm agreeing with that. So I don't understand.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I used the wrong term when you said just a yes or no, not the whys, and then you said I agree with that, and then you added another couple of sentences. But I wasn't.
No,
I was not.
No, I apologize because what I'm saying is that I agree with you. We shouldn't. It's better to just leave than to cheat. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, right. Well, it depends because again, if it's marriage and you believe in the vows going into it, that marriage is going to include violations. If anyone has children, can you imagine if we just left our children because they messed up? They broke a rule.
Or
a major rule.
They don't cheat and suffer. Then I guess that's what I guess. Don't cheat
right.
And suffer.
Can I say something that's going to be unfavorable?
Mm-hmm.
I think that men who are in marriages and they've agreed to they've agreed to actually commit themselves to their wives contractually. And we all know that's a different nature. That's a different beast than just being in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. There's way more to lose. And then the wife is not having, she for some reason, she changes it up. She's, the husband is not getting sex.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough spot to be in. Wouldn't you think? That's a tough situation to be in. And so,
right, but that's when you have the conversations,
right?
Hey,
but
what we
I've heard
upon,
so many stories where they've had these conversations.
Well, they're having the right conversations. I can't dispute. I can't say if someone's having the right or wrong. What I mean is, are they hitting the points of significance to actually come to resolve, or are they only having the conversation with expectations? So, to give you an example. There are women who see me who say, my husband does not pay any attention to me. I tried to lose weight. I done this. I done that. I invited. They are complaining against the men, only to find out he has an addiction problem, only to find out he has a erection problem, only to find out all these things are going on had nothing to do with her, vice versa. My wife agreed. I like it every day. It's her role. She's not, what's up? She's not, only to find out she either is suffering from some type of dislike, whatever. I don't even respect the man like I used to anymore. He grosses me out. He wants to do some things I never even, boom. So both sides usually have a story or a reason. And the people don't want to share those reasons always. Usually the men don't even know that it's the addiction that's the problem. You couldn't tell that you had sex for like 5 minutes, and then you went in your office and said, "Oh, I'm gonna check my email," but you were in there for 4 hours. You didn't know. You didn't. Come on now. Yeah, but they didn't. At least they didn't claim, and they definitely didn't tell their wife, "Can I come down in the computer room?" No, don't come down here. So there's sometimes conversations that involve shame, guilt, trauma, all kind of stuff that they're not talking about that. And so the wife who says, ever since she didn't even realize. Ever since we had kids, it's like you don't even.
But Doc, look at what we're saying though. Look at what.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so women are going to complain either way, and I can imagine it hurts worse if they found out their husband actually had sex with another woman. Mm-hmm. Would you not agree with what Kevin Samuel said? Was at the very least just keep your husband's balls drained.
Physically, that sounds like the correct answer. Psychologically, it does not work that way. Let me ask you this: should the person stop self-soothing once they get married? If they were doing that before marriage, should they stop?
The wife,
man or woman, should they stop using the Jergens?
If a man is using Jergens
before he was married and now he's married,
after he's married, he should stop.
All right, ask a married man if he stopped and see
what I'm saying is, you got a wife's hand to do it for you.
Find a married man and ask him, even though he has a wife with 2 hands and 2 feet, ask if he stopped on his own.
They don't stop. They don't stop.
Correct.
I mean,
so that has nothing to do with a good wife.
But if he doesn't, most of the time, this is what I'm saying. We're getting to the root of the situation. Most of the time, if he doesn't stop, his wife isn't fulfilling what she needs to fulfill.
No, he had the problem before he was married. Before he was married, like I said, she could use both feet. Yeah, and her hand. I don't know if you ever seen that foot massage, but she can use all 10 toes, or 8 if she's been in a bad accident. But all her toes and her hands, and he will still find a way or time to self-soothe.
He has
nothing to do with
he has a problem.
Can I hop in right quick? I'm like the one thing that I was taught, you know, before you get married, is to truly understand who you're getting married to, because who they are before you marry them, that's who they're going to be after you marry them. Marriage, the license, the thing doesn't change them. So if they don't like sex before you marry them, after you marry them, they're still not going to like sex. And I think the number one downfall is that we have all these expectations on our partner that they can't meet. And we didn't have that conversation before. Like, so for example, me, I'm a very conservative person. I don't like my women taking booty shots and cleavage shots and posting on social media. So any woman I deal with, I check their social media. And no matter how much I like her, if she does those things that I don't like, I just don't even start dating her. Right? Yes. You gotta, you know what I mean? Like, I believe that successful people in relationships are people who find people who meet their standard, not try to change people to their standard. And that's what I try to do. I find people who can meet my standard, and I meet their standard, whether they're changing somebody to my standard.
But this is where, when you get married, right? We got to stop looking at sex as this uncomfortable thing for women sometimes, because like, it's a duty. Even if you don't want to do it, even if you don't like to do it, you should do it, because like, she might not like cooking okra, but I might like it. Listen, cook the okra.
No, but Freezy, the thing about it is, you got to ask her, are you comfortable having sex when you don't really want to? And if she says no, then don't marry that person. If she says yes, then that's the person you marry.
Oh, that's facts. That's facts. That's facts.
No captivity.
But I totally agree. And again, now there's some behaviors that I do on my own, but if I have my wife, I probably wouldn't do that anymore, because, like, you know, if I go to movies by myself, but now I have a wife, I probably won't ever go to movies by myself again because I have a wife. Something like that. But I feel comfortable to go by myself even if I'm married, but I won't anymore because I have a wife. But when it comes to sexual behavior, again, it is way more than just stick in a hole. It is psychological, it is physical, it is emotional, it is spiritual, it is so many different things. And if you don't have those components, yes, sometimes I can perform the function, but then you get, well, I couldn't feel you. What do you mean? Was it too small, too soft? No, like, I couldn't feel you. Or, dang, you always do it so hard, like it's a runaway train. That's all you ever do is bleep me and F me, and what? And so, you know, my wife would have to know, sometimes it's for you, and sometimes it's for me, and sometimes it's for us. I might just, you know, anything from mild to wild, but are you willing? Because then we start getting into, you know, politics. Well, yeah, I'm your wife, but the law says I can say no now. Wow. I talked to my friend Shaniqua. She said I don't have, wow. I talked to my mama. You know, I tell my mama everything. She said, well, daddy, he didn't. Wow. I went to the church and they said they don't even, and anal is wrong, and wow. So how much of it is about other influences impacting our relationship as well?
But see, now what we established is, okay, let's say there's a guy and a woman who got married where they didn't actually have that conversation. They just thought that, you know, hey, they were going to be able to please one another and love each other enough to please one another in their marriage. But sexually, the woman just doesn't like sex like that, like he does. But he feels like he's being he has shackles on his, like he feels like he's being basically what's the right word?
Restrained.
Yeah, restrained or restricted from having sex. After so long, if this dude who doesn't have a particular faith in any religion, if he says, you know what, I just can't take it no more, and he actually entertains another woman, you won't have sympathy, you won't empathize with this guy?
No, he should divorce, bro.
But listen, there was no infidelity going on. There was nothing.
Correct. But why not the conversation? Okay, so psychologically, we also start increasing deviance. So you holding hands with you one-on-one and walking the beach, man, I would be rock hard and ready to go. Now 3 years into it, holding hands and walking the beach is boring as hell. I can't even get it to get heavy. So I would like you, baby, to start increasing in some activities. Can we start switching it up? And I need more. You started working, I'm working. Before, when we were dating or before we lived apart, we wouldn't see each other that much. And then when we see each other, we just, wow. Now we see each other every damn day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And one is tired, one is not. So have the appetite, but it is my duty, at least in my opinion, my personal opinion, it is my duty to have that conversation, to make the request, and to also understand there has to be some compromise. It can't all be my way. And if there's some legitimate reasons that she can't, and then the compromises don't work either, then we need to figure out how fruitful is this relationship going to be moving forward.
You think in a situation like that, Doc, therapy is a must? Counseling is a must?
Something is a neutral person, so it doesn't even have to be therapy, but a neutral person that's not going to take either side, professionally can tell you what's going on, what's at the root of the problem. As I said, I find out that a lot of the men have had a sexual addiction or something way before the marriage, or they have some deviance that they didn't explain. You tell me, the guy's on the call, and I won't make this long. We're going to get married. Don't make it weird. Just one of you the female, I'm the female, just husband and wife. Boom. We get married. Here's one option. I go to the gym. When I come back from the gym, I'm sweaty, and it turns me on like crazy if you're willing to just go down on me while I'm still sweaty. Now, we get into counseling, or we don't talk about it. She's like, nah, man, that's sick. You don't even respect me. You don't respect me. Then when we get into counseling, I say this to you. No, you know what? The fact that you're willing, that's what turns me on. Huh? Yeah. Ain't no sex. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Now, all those times you were begging, I finally said yes. And if we had sex 10 times, you only do the anal part 3 times. And then when he says this, it was just knowing that you would. So let me ask you, Freezy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that conversation not worthy of having so she can understand it really wasn't about the sweatiness and being nasty?
Yeah.
It was just about knowing that you would.
Yeah.
But if I don't say that to you and I just leave you or just cheat on you, I think there was a missed piece that we could have avoided some drama if we had talked.
I think that conversation is very much needed. And I think what you just hit on the head, no pun intended, is that that's a lot of men. A lot of men want that, what you just said. Like you don't even, with a lot of men, you don't even have to actually carry out the very act. Like, men just want to know you're willing to please him and you're willing to, do whatever there's need to be done to give him some type of sense of peace or satisfaction. That's what men want. Just the thought of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It makes men rest. But when a woman doesn't even show signs that they even have that much consideration or care, that's disturbing to a man. The first signs or the first way a side chick wins is just by her attitude, her pleasing attitude. It's not even before it's not even, during the act of sex. Most men are won over with side chicks just from the nature of catering.
Yeah, I want to ask something there if I could. I want to say that women do get a little bit comfortable from a male's perspective.
That's the point.
Women do get too comfortable in a long-term relationship, right? And women constantly take breaks, right? We as men, right? If we take a break, then we ain't shit. But women in a long-term relationship often take breaks, and we just gotta accept that.
Facts.
Shit. So even though I can't feel sympathy for the cheater, because again, for me and what I believe and my moral standard is a character issue. It's immoral. Like I believe it's better to divorce than to cheat. But I know everybody has their own different religious perspectives. For me, divorce is acceptable. It's not okay, but it's acceptable. But we really do sometimes got to understand that, hey, women do take a lot of breaks in a relationship, and it's definitely not fair to the men, especially when you as a man
we
doing
ain't signing
job.
You know what's going to happen if a man actually carries out exactly what you said? Instead of cheating on her, he says, hey, he starts having this divorce talk, and he starts putting that on the table, and he starts saying shit like, I think that I've been thinking I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. I think I've been talking to a lawyer. You know what she's gonna do then? We ain't signing.
Well, she got two options.
She's gonna start having sex with him. She's gonna start trying to please him and trying to figure out what can she do to save her marriage.
Hold on. The only way to divorce.
One more point. I just want to say
The only way to divorce if you stop loving her. Like it happens. It can happen. Like if you stop loving your
no, we're talking about what Hot Sauce was saying. Go ahead, Hot Sauce. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I think we get in a lot of trouble when we start talking about love in marriage, because marriage is much more than love.
It is.
For my beliefs, it's more than love, and I'll leave that there because everybody has their own perception.
I agree with that.
Their perception.
But why does the spidey senses kick in after a man has that conversation? The divorce
conversation. How long does that last?
I would say
how long does that last?
Two reasons. Number one is because men are not, American men, especially black men. We're not demanding of. We're just not demanding in a relationship, right? We're just not demanding, and we don't say, okay, hey, this is my standard. This is what I'm worth. Either you're gonna meet me here, or you're gonna get on, right? And we have to, black men don't walk away from a fat ass, right? That's just the bottom line.
Go ahead, Doc.
So let me ask you about the side piece. How come she's not married?
Her body count is too high.
Yeah,
and she was willing to participate in this guy cheating on his wife.
Right, but here's where I'm confused. If he has a high count or a high drive, and his side piece has a high drive, why are they not married?
No, we're not saying he has a high drive. We're saying she's sexless marriage, right? We're
not saying the husband has a high sex drive. We're just saying he's not getting sex.
So he's not getting sex, and he has a side piece. He has the second. The second, how come those two just don't get married?
Because the guy knows that she's been ran through. He's not gonna.
Well, not only that, men want loyalty. The side chick doesn't care that this dude is married, but the guy does. All the guys see.
Right. So here's the flaw in that.
There's a flaw in that. It is.
If we're talking about he's stepping out of the marriage because he's not getting enough, and then he meets someone who's going to give him more than enough, how come those two don't get together? Because you know what? Even if those two got married, it wouldn't work.
No, but that's not an accurate picture. We are saying this. he has a side piece because he's not getting any sex, not enough. We're
Right.
saying zero. Sexless
Right.
marriage. That's the term.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Sexless
Then I have to
marriage.
agree with you. Then we need to look at some other options and
Right, that's what I'm saying. Let me read this.
divorce.
Let me read this super cat 1 second.
Super chat.
Shout out to Big Dave again with the $2 super cap. He said a wise man once said, "Women live in seasons."
No captivity.
Shout out to Big Dave. Go ahead, Doc.
No, I was gonna say. Then I agree with Hasso said. In those cases, you at some point have to make a decision. And if these options are not going to work, then one of the options is divorce. It depends on your religion. I don't know all the laws all the rules or pillars to divorce. Some say there is no option for divorce unless you get cheated on or abuse. So no sex is a form of abuse. It's called neglect. So that would qualify for abuse. And then there's some people, again, does the marriage have to dissolve, or you actually stay committed legally, but you are, you create some other things to where you're being taken care of, but you're not divorced. So
You mean like Monique and her husband?
Yeah.
Or
You know,
Will
something like
Smith?
that where you're roommates or agreements or don't even live together. But if you have children, maybe if there's something that connects you to, you don't have nothing. If there's nothing, then why do it? But family, if you have that.
But if I had children, I would divorce her. I would try. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but if I had children, and for me, actually though, well anyway, if I needed to divorce her, and I had children, I would try to make a deal with her where we still would be roommates and don't let the children know that we're divorced until they're like 18. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I would try.
Right.
I would try.
Right. So you still provide the parenting part as much as you can.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I don't think most women in these marriages aren't having sex because they just don't have a sex drive. I think most women use sex for ransom. They abuse their power. They know if a man is going to get sex, most of the time it's going to be from them. If they're not being pleased by something else outside of sex, they withhold it. A lot of women use sex for ransom within marriages. If they're not happy, if they're mad, if they feel like they're not satisfied with certain things that's been, that's how their marriage has been going. A lot of wives in marriages are guilty of withholding sex.
Right. But we gotta understand something too. I just want to say this really quick, and I'll pass it on. But we gotta understand something, and this is what I understood, because in my first one, right, I wasn't her first choice, and a lot of guys that girls say yes to marry, we're not really the guy that she wanted, right? She'll tell you she's settling for you, right? So when it comes down to holding sex and ransom, stuff like that, whether it is or not, I think that all boils down to, a lot of times, man, we're not her first choice.
You mean as far as like desire?
She wanted to marry. Yeah, the guy that she wanted the guy that she wanted him to propose to, the guy she really wanted to say yes.
Oh, she didn't get him.
Right, she didn't get him, right? A lot of women who are married, they're married to the second dude, the second motherfucker.
Right. I agree with that. I agree. You might be onto something. Let me. I said I wasn't going to read anything but super chats, but I'm gonna read. Doc said that was a great question, so I'm gonna honor Lonnie Samar. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Welcome to the No Cap crew, Lonnie Samar. He said, when in history did sex become an activity for pleasure instead of purpose for reproduction? Well, Lonnie, I think you need to do a little bit more reading historically throughout antiquity. Yeah. I will argue that sex has been used more for pleasure than it has been for reproduction, because monogamy. What'd you
Kama
say?
Sutra, 1,000 years old. Kama Sutra, that's a book about sex and pleasure. Over 3,000 years old, right?
Right. And not
But
only
are we talking
that,
in marriage? Are we talking in marriage?
what I'm saying, even in marriage, like monogamy is a fairly new thing. You know, polygamy has been practiced all throughout antiquity, and not even with having multiple wives. Men, even in the Bible, it speaks of concubines. Concubines was for pleasure.
Yep.
So
whores have always been here. Whores and
always
whore
been
street
here.
Always from the beginning of time.
What didn't they say? Right. That's the oldest profession.
Yeah.
Right.
No captivity.
Vegas make a point about the parent staying married or divorced. I also talked to some couples who are practice Islam or are Muslim, and that's more about duty. So it's not even about if you neglect me or not. It's about the duty that you have in the marriage. And so if it's a dutyless marriage, then that also calls for divorce.
Right.
The same way we shouldn't think about sex as a bad thing. I also want to invite people to look at, pending their practices or beliefs, to look at also understanding that divorce is not a horrible thing either, especially if it's under conditions that are going to actually keep us safe, keep us healthy, keep us mentally stable. So there are reasons for divorce, and I say people should not shy away from it. And as far as shaming people, or is it a bad thing, or should we support them or feel sorry for them? I think the part of feeling sorry is when the person has tried and tried and tried, and all parties involved in a relationship have made efforts and efforts and efforts, and is not going to work. And they stayed in a relationship longer than they should have, and they really wore themselves out. Those are the people I feel sorry for.
I will agree with that, and I think the reason why it's so important that we have conversations like this is because if you are going to make that decision to enter into divorce, just try to make sure it was a sound decision. So often people regret the decision they made because they made it off of a vain and self-centered foundation, right?
Right. I said, look at two things. One, their level of impulsivity. So almost what Hassas was saying, even before the marriage, do they engage in impulsive behaviors? Then guess what? They're going to do that when it comes to, especially now with ghosting, boom, as fast as you get just boom, everything just leave, run. Did you even give it a try? Did you try? Nope, I didn't, boom, gone. Wow. So I say impulsivity and a willingness to try multiple different things, even if it doesn't always feel good. And Lady Navoa had asked, earlier, I think she said, what if you don't like it more than 3 times or whatever? Mm-hmm. Or what if you don't like salt? Then how can I help you with that? Do you need to have a spit bucket next to you or whatever? How can I? And then the compromise is maybe we don't do it that way every day. Maybe some days I do wash. And then what is duty, David? I think whatever the agreement is in that relationship or that culture. So for each person is going to be different. Responsible, whatever we agree to be responsible to each other for is what I would consider duty.
Shout out to Enos Luby, just became a member, a No Capper. Thank you.
No captivity.
I got a balance. Thank you for having me on. Doctor's great. Your perspective is always great to listen to. Hot sauce, great meeting you. Everybody in the chat, good night and God bless. Till next time.
Appreciate you always being here, Hassan. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Good night.
I think what I'm going to start doing is, and you know what, Doc, if you're okay with it, I think these type of conversations, I would like to get more in depth with it, and I would like to have it within the confines of the membership. I think that would be dope.
I agree.
Yeah. What we're talking about, I don't even think we scratched the surface, because the reason why I brought up this conversation is because I've had conversations with close colleagues of mine where they've confided in me about, the shape of their marriage and what's going on, that they'd share things with me that they would be reluctant to share with just the average person. And it's a tough place when you're married. It's like, what can you tell a person in those predicaments? It's not like you can twist your wife's arm and make them understand that you want to be pleased or you want to fulfill certain desires or whatnot. I know guys in sexless marriages. You understand what I'm saying? So, and I'm gonna tell you something. It's a sensitive subject. It's a sensitive subject because guys are not going to come out and say they're in sexless marriages. That's embarrassing. Go ahead, Doc.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was gonna say half them guys who are talking to you or us or anyone else, half of them not even talking to their wives about it. They're complaining outwardly, but didn't say a word at home.
That's a fact. Doc, I'm about to get ready to close the show out. Doc, man, you don't know how much it means to me when you give your contribution. I really appreciate it, bro. This was a great conversation. It really was.
You
man.
Bet. I appreciate sharing the space with Hassan and Hot Sauce and you and those in the chat. I always find it an honor to be able to share my perspectives, some of it from education, training, professional work, and personal. Yeah. We are in this together, Freezy. Actually, one of my girlfriends actually left me for you, just so you know. Yeah. And but I was happy for her. It was no shade, no anger, or no hatred. I was like, hey, you go, girl, work it.
She left you for me?
Yeah, Freezy's my man. I was like, ooh, look at you. But the sad part was she wasn't even bold enough to say it. Like, I found out about it. She wasn't even bold. That's that part, man, where people would do things, but even the seconds and thirds, they claim they do all this stuff, but they're not bold enough to have those honest conversations. Well,
hey, Doc, so if she left you for me, I can pretty much guarantee you it's a sexless relationship.
Yeah.
Man, thank you, Doc. I really appreciate you, man. I love you too, Doc. I hope you know that.
You got it, boss. Hey, we're in this together, man. I love you as well, and you guys take care. And everyone in the chat, peace and blessings to y'all as well. Take care.
Definitely, man. Y'all, man, shout out to the doctor, man. Y'all give the doctor a round of applause, man. Shout out to the doctor, man. Real talk. This was a great conversation. Thank you, Enos Luby, for becoming a member. I seen your other chat too. You know what you should do? So we could talk about, you could, actually explain a future show more in depth. Send me a email to freezy76@gmail.com. freezy76@gmail.com. I would love to hear your idea. I would love to hear from you, bro. Thank you. Shout out to Enos Luby for becoming a member. A no capper, exactly.
No Cap-tivity.
Y'all know what time it is, right? It's time to get some words of wisdom. I know this the moment y'all be waiting on. I know it is. Let me see. Let's get a good one. We're going to make sure we get a good one. We're going to make sure we get a good Bible verse. We're going to read this one. Damn, that's long, man. Let me see. It's long. That was that long, man. Let me see. Before a man shall leave his wife and drink water from your own stern, flowing water from your own. Should your springs be scattered abroad. Streams of water in the streets. Let them be for yourself alone and not for strangers with you. Okay, here we go. And rejoice in the work of your youth. Okay, here we go. This is a good one, y'all. This is a good one right here. This is a good one. Yes, sir. This is a good one right here. Let me read what Doc said. Doc said, Freezy, in the medical world, sex more than 2 to 3 times a week, the person is considered to be hypersexual. More than 2 to 3 times a week? A medical condition, yep, a week. Wow, I never knew that. Wow, I mean...
No Cap-tivity.
Sex more than 2 to 3 times a week is considered hypersexual. Wow. I never knew that. I'm gonna make sure I save that. Let me screenshot this. MMB says she must be hypersexual there. MMB say I want it. Shit.
No Cap-tivity.
That's a good problem to have, MMB. Let me see. The good doctor said hypersexuality is a term used for a presumed mental disorder causing people to engage in or think about sex to a point of distress or impairment. So, Doc, you mean to tell me if a man is thinking about sex, even if he ain't getting it and he thinking about sex and he catch the blue balls, that's a mental disorder?
No Cap-tivity.
If a man catch the blue balls because he thinking about sex, that's a mental disorder? This is a great conversation. In the grand us of a yup, this is why I say this goes beyond marriage. I got you. And we got Quantum Love backing MMB Beauty. We know y'all men ain't gonna have no problem. Let me see. JD25 is just laughing his ass off. Y'all, let me read this scripture. Let me see. Y'all see this right here? The Most High speaking to us from Proverbs 5th chapter, 15th through the 19th verse. And it reads, drink water. Now remember, these are Proverbs, and oftentimes the Bible speaks in parables. But let's try to break this down. Starting with the 15th verse, it says, drink water from your own cistern. Don't go out there cheating and going on having sex with all these type of women. When you get married, drink water from your own cistern. Flowing water from your own well. Guess what? I need y'all to see my face. Listen, guess what? If you get married, guess what, women? Don't stop your water from flowing. That's the key word the Bible is saying. Flowing water from your own cistern. The water should be flowing. Because if you ain't no water flowing, what you gonna drink?
Cap-tivity.
Let's bring this back up, y'all. Flowing water from your own well. Should your springs be scattered abroad? Streams of water in the streets? No, you should not. Your streams shouldn't be scattered abroad, or your streams of water shouldn't be in the streets. Let them be for yourself alone and not for strangers with you. Let your fountain be blessed and rejoice in the wife of your youth, a lovely deer, a graceful doe. Do y'all know why the Bible said a deer or a doe? What does a deer do? What does a doe do? Deers and does are very active, very athletic, very jumpy, very active. Deers and does, they ready. Deers and does, when it's time to get going, they don't waste no time. When it's time for action, when it's time to run, when it's time to run that race, when it's time to move, they don't hesitate. That's why they likened your wife to a deer or a doe. Ain't no hesitation. When it's time to move, they ready to move. Let her breasts fill you at all times with delight. That's very key. Let her breasts fulfill you at all times, not sometimes. Not every now and then. Not when she want to. Not when she feel like it, at all times. If you're not ready to fulfill this, what the scripture is saying, don't get married. Let me read that again. Let her breasts fill you at all times with delight. So not only is she fulfilling you at all times, but she's doing it in a delightful way, with delight. She wants to please you. Be intoxicated always in her love, not another woman's love. Her love. Was that a perfect scripture for tonight's show, or was it?
No Cap-tivity.
The scripture said that. Y'all need me to read? I'm finna read that again straight through, because I don't think y'all heard what the Most High said. Drink water from your own cistern, flowing water from your own well. Should your springs be scattered abroad? No. Streams of water in the streets? No. Let them be for yourself alone and not for strangers with you. Let your fountain be blessed and rejoice in the wife of your youth, a lovely deer, a graceful doe. Let her breasts fill you at all times with delight. Be intoxicated always in her love.
No Cap-tivity.
I think some of y'all might need to bookmark that one right now. MMB Beauty say, knock all the stuff off the table. A quickie run from the kids on the washer and dryer, etc. Exactly. JD25 say a good kind of intoxication. A righteous kind of intoxication. Exactly, JD25. The good doctor said Western standards, my studies in India says there is no magic number as long as it does not impair your functioning in daily life. There you go. See, Dr. Nakambi came with clarity as always. This guy, let me tell you something. This guy is a professional. He's a man of much class. He knows what he's talking about. He's been in this profession since the 80s. Man knows he knows exactly what he's talking about. Shout out to my dog, Next Level Motherfucker.
Super chat.
My brother, Next Level, with the $2 super cap. He said, shout out to the No Cap crew and salute to Freezy. Appreciate you, brother.
No Cap-tivity.
Let me tell y'all the truth, man. Will my family show up? The conversation ain't got no choice but to be deep, meaningful, good. When my sisters and my brothers, shout out to Next Level for being here. Shout out to Dr. Nakambi, JD25, MMB Beauty. Yes. Enos Luby, thank you for becoming a member. We're going to start having these real in-depth conversations in the membership. It might get a little more... We might, the terminologies might get a little more X-rated. We're going to have grown folk talk in the membership, right? Yeah, I think that I've been trying to think about how I'm going to structure the membership. I think I found it. We're going to have more in-depth conversations. So if you want to be a part of these more in-depth conversations where we get more to the root of problems, especially in marriages, relationships, become a member. Shout out to Quantum Love. Thank you for being, that's my sister, y'all. Thank you for being here. Shout out to the whole No Cap crew. Miss Piggy. Shout out to Lady Nouveau. Thank you, Jerome. Thank you. Big Dave. Thank you, bro, for all your contributions, man. For real. Big Dave. He never ceased to amaze me. Shout out to, hold up. AWOL. Hold up. I missed one. Wait, what's 30? I missed AWOL. My bad, AWOL. Let me read your super chat, bro.
Super chat.
AWOL said, keep putting this good energy in our universe, bro. Hey, my bad, AWOL.
No Cap-tivity.
AWOL. Somebody tell AWOL I read his super chat. His super cap. AWOL. My apologies, bro. I don't know how I missed that one. Shout out to AWOL for the $5 super cap, man. Thank you, AWOL. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
No Cap-tivity.
Damn. Shout out to 2 Glock Hot, T Will, as always, Big Dave, Next Level, AWOL. Thank you for all the super caps. Thank you, Lady Nouveau, for the cash cap. Thank you. Thank you to Hot Sauce for joining the panel and contributing tremendously to the conversation. It goes without saying thank you to the good doctor, Dr. Nakambi, who is a part of the No Cap crew. We should feel privileged. Shout out to her son for always joining the conversation and giving his point of view, especially from his side of culture. We will be back tomorrow, y'all. I'm just completing my Sabbath, so that's why we didn't get a show Friday, right? Usually, I practice the Sabbath. I worship the Sabbath, so between Friday sundown and Saturday sundown, I try to keep focused on the Most High. I pray, read scriptures, do all that good stuff. I got to keep my mind right. Shout out to AWOL, man. It's been another magnificent show. A lot of information has been shared this evening. I want to say I love y'all. All praises to the Most High. Thank you, Hot Sauce. I think we're gonna do something different over here. We're doing something different over here. We hey, listen, I appreciate Kevin Samuels, Angry Man, Anton Daniels, all of the big guys, in the space, I'm gonna try to, create a foundation over here where we're talking about hard topics, real life issues, possibly issues that you would probably even embarrass to share. But we can get away with it over here because there will be no shaming, right? No disrespect. I don't know if y'all noticed, but that is the type of environment that we've established over here. We're going to stay respectful. It's a respectful environment. Y'all remember this right here. To free yourself, you must heal yourself. And until the next time, we out of here.
No Cap-tivity. Freezy.